Welcome back, everyone, to our game of the month, Numenera, but utilizing the Cipher system by Monty Cook Games. Today, we're going to be putting the system through its paces, kind of showing off its core mechanics, and as always, giving away a free PDF copy to one lucky viewer. And luckily, my bot is working today, so if you type in Numenera into the system, it'll catalog you and get you in the running for a free PDF copy at the end of the game. So make sure to throw that in. And then we're going to dive into it, set the stage. We'll meet our players. So with this, the King Laird of the Kingdom of Gon has put out the call. His spies and surveyors have found, or at least located, an island in the Western Sea that seems to be untouched from the last age. It's the surveyors told of wondrous technology, ruins untouched by the citizens of the Ninth Age, filled with wonders in Numenera that could change the course of the Kingdom of God. But the surveyors initially found it weren't able to make landfall, and since they've not been able to locate the island again. King Laird has sent out 3 expeditions, all trying to brave the treacherous western seas to find this grouping of islands. 2 of them failed and have not returned, and one limped its way back to sea with most of its crew, either dead or injured or driven to madness. But King Laird, he feels that fate has touched this 4th expedition. He feels that this expedition will be the one to succeed. He's put out the call far and wide, looking for those willing to brave the Western Seas, willing to explore the unknown for the potential for gold, glory, rewards, whatever may be motivating, but the chance to find this untouched piece of land, this remnants of an age gone by that could potentially change the course of a kingdom. And we'll kind of start. You all are in choppy seas. The sea is the sky is dark. Waves kind of pushing your boat to and fro. You've got crew around you trying to keep you all steady through the storm. Before we get into that too much, let's meet the crew. So go through, introduce your character, utilize the sentence that Numenera has you craft. So I am a such and such who does blank, and then pick in one of your connector or your link to the adventure items, and just kind of give us a little bit about what your PC is and kind of how they got linked to this adventure. So who wants to take it off first?
I'll do it. Hello, my name's Ryan. You may or may not have seen me on Tegan's channel a couple of times. That's probably the only place you've seen me before. But I'm going to be playing Reveil, a learned delve who controls gravity. He has abilities that allow him to fly, slow down people he doesn't like, and generally just knows a whole lot of stuff about the ancient civilizations and whatnot. He is... He was selected for this expedition because of his knowledge of like archaeology, geology, geography, like the ancient, like delving, basically. He is a delver. So his expertise is in getting into places that other people have trouble getting to, and then getting all the good, juicy bits out of there. Let me pull up the little questions thing real quick. One of the other PCs asks me to come along because of my knowledge. I should pick that question mark? Yes.
Yeah, you get to tie it into the adventure. Since you're the unfortunate one going first, you don't really know who maybe want to seek out knowledge. So I'll kind of throw it out to the party. Would one of your players be, or your characters, be somebody that would reach out to somebody that may have some knowledge and skills delving into the unknown?
Who would have thought we need somebody who knows this kind of stuff? Who's the dumbest?
Or the smartest.
Yeah.
Perhaps the wisest, then. The person who knows when to ask somebody else for help.
Get your Camacho on.
If nobody can think of anything for that, I can just move on to the next. We have a question from my controls gravity focus.
So
That's
these
what it's
ones
called.
are your ones that will kind of link the party. We'll go for those ones at the end,
Oh,
after
okay,
everybody
okay,
gets a chance
gotcha.
to introduce their PC.
I
Uh,
gotcha, I
yeah,
gotcha.
what we'll do is let you, Will or Ravel, we'll let you answer that first question at the end as well after you hear a little bit more on the other PCs.
All right.
Uh, but yeah, who wants to kick it off next?
I can go next. So I'm playing Sehemir of the Eternity. When she was born, her body housed a ancient artificial intelligence that basically controlled her, and she could kind of watch as it lived her life for 20 so years before some people attacked the village that she grew up in and used these strange words to cause the intelligence to give up its control for the first time. And she was able to escape. And since then, the intelligence has been asking for control back, and she has refused to do so. But so she's a strong-willed nano who talks to machines. This artificial intelligence has given her all kinds of capabilities for interfacing with Numenera and other technology that she comes across. But she's also pretty stubborn and determined and tired of not having the ability to make choices for herself and eager to do so. She's going on this mission basically to get away from whatever people seem to have some kind of control over the intelligence, as well as the people from her village that sort of worshipped it as a god. So really, she's just trying to explore, get away, find freedom anywhere that's not where she's from. And one of my questions is pick another PC. I'm gonna go with Reveal since we've already had you. I know that you know an incriminating or embarrassing secret about me, and I hope that you don't reveal it. So I mean, we've been together for a little bit. Y'all probably know that I have weird mechanical stuff going on, but Reveal, you alone know that the AI's purpose is to protect and defend humanity. It's a noble. It has like a noble objective. It's pretty effective at that. And by subduing it, I'm kind of like preventing that from happening. And there's sort of like danger that it's holding back that nobody really understands except the AI. But I value my own independence over that noble goal.
Nice, nice.
Nice.
He talked about you talked about your characters like equipment and stuff and the way that they're able to do their things. So I thought I should point out that my Reveal has like a large like a what looks like a wide like collar around his neck that just doesn't have any obvious function, but that is the device that allows him to control gravity. He can manipulate nano machines in the area around him, allows him to turn the gravity off on himself or increase the gravity on others if he wants to. In addition to, it also can fold out and become a convenient helmet because when you have no gravity on yourself, you bump your head a lot.
Perfect. And Samir, what was your AI's name, or does it have a name?
It's just called the Eternity.
Perfect. All right. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm Errol, a graceful glaive who wields two weapons at once. I survived a childhood calamity in my village where they awakened a machine that destroyed the majority of the village. The survivors scattered to the wilderness, and I was taken in by a monk enclave, a martial monk enclave. I've channeled the fear of machines that this instilled in me in a desire to help others combat the machines. One of the other PCs convinced me that joining the group would be in my best interest. And I do have a pick another PC. Seems like I might dislike Sedimir immensely, but as I get to know them, I might grow more fond of them.
Yeah, I mean, despite being a half machine, she is also not fond of what machines have done to her. So on the surface, it might seem there's some disagreements there, but I think when
Right.
it comes to the core of things, we can get along.
All right. So, are you going with was Samir able to convince you with kind of like her own tragic backstory with machines that this is a worthwhile endeavor?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sweet.
Oh, you guys mentioned how you use your abilities. Well, I'm a glaive, so I'm all about fighting. I do carry a quarterstaff and a bow, but I prefer to fight with my fists.
Nice. All right, Oris or Nar, who's next?
I can go. Oris, a tough jack who controls beasts. Oris grew up in kind of a fishing village along the coast. Kind of just everything naturally came really easily to Oris. And so he never took anything seriously. His family owns a fishing boat, and that's how they earn their income. They've got their own little fishing business. Recently, they've kind of fallen on hard times. Potentially, they're going to lose the business. The Aeon priests have decided that they would gladly step in and assist, but they did hear about this expedition, and maybe assisting might come along with a little bit of exploration on my part. And so he kind of wears just a leather jerkin. Also carries a bow on his back and a quarterstaff in his hand, along with a little bit of not a family heirloom, but you'd see commonly for fishing families to have a little fishing knife on his side. And so for him, it's so pick one other PC. That character seems to disturb your creatures in a way that you can't explain. There's some good choices for this, but I'm going to have to go with the mostly robot. So Errol. That's okay with you?
Well, Samir is the mostly robot, I believe.
Oh, sorry, did I get the names wrong?
Yeah, Errol's does not like robot or does not like technology at all.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Samir, that character seems to disturb your creatures in a way that you can't explain. Oh, I should say what my creature is. It's a level 2 creature, so it'd be some type of smaller bird, I assume, a falcon or eagle or whatever equivalent of a level 2 would be.
Nice. All right, last but not least, Anar, you're up.
So I am Anar, who is a rugged jack who explores dark places. So I basically kind of grew up in the wild and learned how to kind of explore the wilderness and things like that, just kind of by watching other people and things like that. And I am here because I need money. I don't really have a source of income, and so I heard this was paying, so that's why I'm here. As far as like my abilities, I have a small critter companion as well. It's a bat, and I kind of do scouting and exploring with using the bat as putting my own senses into the bat.
Ooh.
Nice. And what's your question that links you into the adventure?
Let's see.
And while you're pulling that up, one last piece we're going to do before we get going is each of them has kind of the question that links them into the adventure, as well as the what's the name for the connection piece as well. So we'll hit those last connection question, then we'll dive into the fray of the adventure. But Anar, I'll pass it back to you.
I'm pretty sure that my connection was that needing money thing. Let me see if I can pull that up.
Oh, so you've got 3 questions with yours. You
yeah.
could post it. So it's like the thing you posted a little bit higher up.
Oh yeah. The money thing is actually his initial connection
Yeah.
thing, and then the rest of the questions are like the ones that we've all been skipping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, so we'll go through the next piece then. So each of you guys have a connection question on that side to kind of link you into the party as well. So you guys get to hear a little bit about each of the PCs now. So definitely kind of think and definitely shout out if anybody's got one that kind of links you and these other PCs together. It could be any of the three that are along with that you think would be kind of fit the fiction of the PCs you've heard so far. And that's one of the nice things with Numenera as well, is it kind of gives you like almost like a PBTA style, where it gives you some good questions to both link yourself to the adventure, which we went through at first, and then link you into the group as a whole too.
So I mentioned I want to get to this island just to get away from all of the stuff here, and going on a mission like this under Order of the King is probably the easiest way to get away from the main continent. But my connection is that I'm afraid of what might happen if the other PCs fail. So if y'all go without me and screw this up like the last 3 missions, then he might decide it's not safe anymore and not send any more ships out there. So I'll miss my chance to go out there. So if I don't go now, I'm not going to get another shot. Is my fear.
Perfect.
Don't screw this up.
Perfect. All right. Ravel, I'll pick on you next.
All right.
Actually, I'll pick on you twice because your first one as well.
Oh, the first one is the one of the other PCs asked you to come along because of your knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you know what? I'm gonna pick on Anar. Anar needs the money from this mission, and also just happens to know Reveil and knows that Reveil does not care about the money at all. And so I'm thinking Anar could have thought, bring along somebody that can help us with the mission, and maybe I'll take some of his share. He won't mind.
Sounds good to me.
And then the other one is I choose one of the following. I think I'm going to pick out one of these questions that I think is just funny. Pick one other PC. This character was your companion on previous expeditions, and the two of you work so... Wait, hold on. No. Wrong one. I'm looking at... That's because I'm reading Anar's. I was like, this doesn't sound familiar at all. What's going on? I was looking at Anar's. Here's the one that I actually wanted. Pick one other PC. In the recent past, while using your gravitational powers, you accidentally sent the character hurtling into the air or plummeting toward the ground. Either way, they barely survived. It's up to the player of that character to decide whether they resent, fear, or forgive you. And I love that.
I volunteer as tribute.
Absolutely. All right. So I'm sorry, your character's name was which one was yours?
Errol.
Errol. All right. So one time I accidentally, while we were on a previous expedition, I accidentally made you and your equipment insanely heavy. And you like broke through the floor and like crashed through a couple of floors downward. Just barely survived. It's up to you how you have reacted to that. But I just think that's a very funny way for us to have a connection.
Well, my initial choice, I had actually mentioned this the first time around. You dislike them immensely, but as you get to know this person, you're growing more fond of them against your better judgment. I had originally picked Semir, but it might be better for me to do that with you.
All right. I love it.
Perfect. Well, got some connections here. So we've done Ravel, we've done Samir. Who wants to go next?
I think
that was kind of mine too.
Oh, sweet.
I think for one of mine, so it's pick another PC that you feel is so loud at everything you're obligated to try and help them learn to move more quietly through this world. And I'm thinking either like Errol or Samir, because flavor, like louder abilities. I don't know which one of you guys thinks that might fit better for you.
I mean, I like the idea that like my thing is that I talk to machines, but maybe also like machines talk back to me, and there's so much like weird machines all over the place that I'm just like walking around and things are like lighting up and making all kinds of noises, and you're trying to like help me get better at dealing with that. There's one way we could go with it.
Love
All
it.
right.
Perfect. All right, Oris, what are you thinking?
So I think I might have missed a question. So so for the first part, it'll be going on the expedition because I need my family's in debt, and so I probably got ahead of myself on that one. And then the second one was my so pick one other PC. That character seems to disturb your creatures, and so I picked
Perfect. So we got
Samir.
Samir. Okay.
You didn't know
Sweet.
if there's a third. All right, so I think I'm good.
Yep, you're good to go.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll kind of get back into focus. You all are kind of moving through the Western Seas. King Laren did equip he was very generous with equipping the crew out. You see this ship clad in metal, Numenera abundant about it, cutting through the seas. This would be, it's so well fitted, it's almost a royal vessel. It's definitely no expense spared to see if they can make it to this destination. You see the metal plating, gear, and Numenera, everything to keep it as stabilized as it can through these choppy seas. But you see, even with all of this, the sea is just, there's this whole voyage when you set off from Ghan. Initially, it was pretty smooth sailing, but almost like clockwork. Each night, it seems like the oceans begin to churn, the winds begin to pick up, the lightning cracks, and your sails, your ship itself are just buffeted across, almost threatening to shake this metal ship apart. And that is where we're at right now, right at the night. Pretty much the moon, only thing illuminating the ship outside of your own lanterns. Waves tossing and turning, the crew panicking. Did you guys see like this ship, this mighty vessel who typically should not have any fear of capsizing or being kind of thrown about in a storm, is being tossed to and fro. It is on the brink of destruction. You see the cracks forming along the pillars of the sails. You see water beginning to fill onto the decks. You see the sails themselves just buffeted out, just completely full. Danger is lurking, and you feel yourselves being kind of pulled apart. And with that, how does the crew react? You guys see all of this going around. The crew is trying their best, but this is a storm beyond anything they've sailed across. How are you all assisting with these crashing waves, grinding wind, and all going at the same time?
I have something in mind. My character is sort of like naturally light on his feet, just because of the fact that he controls gravity, and that has been actually mostly a problem. He has to sort of tie himself down because he keeps getting thrown around the ship below decks. He keeps hitting his head on the ceiling and whatnot. But after spending a little bit of time like trying and failing to just stabilize himself below decks, he's like, actually, I think I could actually be some help here. Hold on a moment. He actually runs up above deck and tries to find somebody who looks like they know what they're doing, and is like staying mostly calm, and he wants to help that person because I have a thing I can do. Do I see somebody who like maybe the captain or just somebody who just seems competent and knows what they're doing, and I want to help them out?
Definitely, you do see kind of a captain. The captain that you've been sailing with for the last few weeks. He is kind of a dark-skinned man. He's got like this beat-up, run-down silver cap that he has been wearing probably for at least a few decades, longer than some of you have been alive. And he is keeping it as calm, but you could even see that there's tension in his voice, his commands, as he is barking out orders to the sailors, yelling at one, batten down those sails. Hey, you bind the pier somehow. Just yelling out these commands, trying to keep the ship going, but definitely kind of nearing the end of his rope.
All right. I have a thing, an ability. Let's start it off immediately. I'm going to spend one intellect point.
All right.
Wait, hold on. I changed the wrong thing on my character sheet. This should be... There we
Well,
go.
he's figured out for those who are new to the Numenera system or the Cipher system as well. A lot of your ability, you've got 3 pools: intellect, speed, and might. And you can spend, if you've got abilities, you can spend those pools to be able to do crazy stuff. They're also your HP as well as kind of like your effort. It's kind of all 3 mixed into one. But what's Ravel doing?
Oh, actually, I have an intellect edge, so it doesn't. The cost gets reduced to 0.
Solid.
So I am going to just find somebody, once the captain commands somebody to do something, I'm going to point at that person, and the big awkward plastic collar that's around my neck. It's like I'm wearing a disc, like a frisbee around my neck, that sticks out a few inches. I have the helmet extended and pulled up, so I kind of look like I'm wearing. It almost looks like I'm wearing a motorcycle helmet. But I point at that person, and immediately they become way heavier, so that they are no longer being thrown around by the waves as much. Here, you briefly increase the weight of a target within short range enough to stop them in their tracks, preventing the target from moving and hindering any. Hindering any attempted tasks on their next action. I should have kept reading the rest of the ability, huh? But hey, sometimes if you're trying to stay in one place and stay planted, being really heavy could actually be helpful.
Definitely. We'll say Ravel was smart enough on that side to pick one of the ones that's trying to pull back the rope, keeping that sail in place. You saw this guy straining his muscles, just bulging out, slowly being pulled across this watery deck. But after Ravel works his magic-like technology, you see him rooted in place. A little bit panicked as he's his muscles feel far heavier, but that sail's not going anywhere.
All right, just don't let me know if you need to move, because it's going to be very difficult.
This feels really weird. The captain yells, "Quit your bellyache, and you're holding the sail." He kind of gives you a small nod, Ravel.
I do an awkward salute.
You guys see the storm continues to rage. The waters begin to pick up. Who else is on deck right now?
I feel Oris would probably as soon as he noticed something, he's been on the sea. He's been around boats his whole life. So he would have probably just ran and started helping the captain.
Oris, give me an intellect roll. And we are going to say this is a difficulty 2, so you've got a speed of 6. And while you're rolling that 2, with the way Numenera does their difficulties, it's a D20 system, and it has 10 different tiers of difficulty, and kind of ranging from easy, routine, to impossible, all multiples of 3.
All right, and so we're rolling physical dice.
Physical die for this one.
All right. 6 on the dot.
Perfect. Oris, you spent some time on sea, so we'll see how you react to this. But you see these waves crashing kind of ahead of the ship. But one of the things that kind of stands out to you is one of the waves seems like it breaks just a bit earlier. It breaks a little bit weird. You see it break, and you see it almost divide in half before the water reforms. And just through the moonlight, you catch this glimmer. It almost looks like a string, a rope, something that's kind of ahead through these waves and the water that seems to be disrupting it, but the ship is getting very close to it.
So I'm going to I'll take a peek at it. I'm actually going to use my one of my abilities here. And so I've got my my companion with me. I assume has much better vision than myself, and I'm going to use I think it's link senses I can see and kind of sense through that companion or that animal's find me.
Perfect. So you're kind of sending it into the storm?
Yeah, so I'll see if it can come up a little bit and just kind of get a better idea of what it is. And so that costs 2 intellect points. So link senses. You touch a willing creature and link its senses to yours for 1 minute. At any time during that duration, you can concentrate to see, hear, or smell. And so specifically, I'm trying to see if they can get a better sight of what's going on there.
Perfect. You send the creature out there, and you see it kind of floating or flying through like this torrential downpour, waves, etc. And as it gets closer to kind of where you saw that wave break, it sees another wave break again, and it kind of gives you a clear outline with the moonlight and kind of backlit lit against the water that's breaking across it. This looks like a web, like almost a crystalline web. Strung kind of through the water.
Yeah, and
So very taut.
Yeah, and so he's going to call it out for the captain. He's going to point it out and call out what he sees. Captain, we got something in front of. Never seen that.
You see the captain is barking out orders, but he goes, "Web? Well, I never heard of web." Before we get to the rest of the captain, what he's doing, what's the rest of the crew doing? Who else is on deck, I should say?
I probably have been, before this storm approached, it's been like pacing on deck, frustrated that don't really have the skills to help get this ship there any faster. But as I hear about this web, I'll rush over to see if there's maybe something I can do to help out. And let's see. I have an ability, but it requires a short range. Are we close enough to the web for that? Or I think it's either short or long range are the options here.
If it's long range, it's good. Not yet short range, but the ship is
Okay.
kind of moving steadily towards it. So you could definitely kind of hold till it's a little bit closer if it is short range.
I'll save that ability because it is short range for when it gets closer. But I will just from the distance try to see and if I've heard of anything like this before in my travels, or I can figure out what it might be, or what effect it might have in this area.
Definitely. So this will be give me an intellect check. This will be a difficulty 3.
Okay. I have a skill in understanding Numenera, but I have an inability in any task that involves figuring out puzzles or problems. So I think that means that those two basically cancel out. But I'll spend 2 intellect with my intellect edge to apply effort, which will bump it down to difficulty 2.
Nice.
That's a 9 on the D20. So that's a success, I believe.
You guys are getting those exact successes. You look at this, and I'll kind of have you decide, Samir, if this is something that you just know offhand, or if Attorney kind of whispers this in your subconscious. But that web, that's the web of a ghost crab. These kind of like almost Numenera infused creatures that usually live at the bottom of the ocean floor and hunt in pairs.
Yeah, I think Eternity would tell that to me because it has a vested interest in keeping me safe and protected, because I'm its body as well. So it sees this as a threat and identifies it and shares that information with me. And I'll say, yeah, we got ghost crabs we need to deal with, probably 2 of them. Their webs will try to catch us, but if we can see the beast and take them out, then we should be all right.
Ghost crabs sounds very bad. Have the rest of us the rest of us know what ghost crabs are?
Oh, we'll get to that in a second. But I'm gonna pick on either Anar or Arrow. What are you all doing right now?
I'd have been on.
Go ahead.
I'd have been on deck, kind of more comfortable outside. I think I would have just been doing whatever I could to help out.
Perfect. You kind of see this kind of a little bit of a chaotic bit of atmosphere right now. You see the crashing waves. You hear the captain yelling out the orders. You see some of your fellow kind of specialists that were hired for this endeavor kind of examining the situation. Some calling out about the web, some calling about the ghost crabs. You see the ship is starting to almost tear itself apart. The mast of the ship kind of being the one that it's most creaking and cracking and near falling. And then the threat of ghost crabs looming in the air. How does Anar, what does Anar tackle? What does he do in this situation?
I think I'm just going to be even with hearing about the ghost crabs, I'm still gonna try and focus on something I can affect immediately. So I'm helping tie down things or whatever needs to be done.
Perfect. You hear the captain yell at you. Hey, you! That one over there! Grab a piece of wood. Help me patch up this masthead. You look like you're strong enough to pound that in through the storm. And if Anar does that, give me a might check. This will also be a DC, or not DC, difficulty tier 2.
So I'm just rolling D20 to beat. What am
D20
rolling?
to beat 6. Yep.
So 6 or better.
Mhm.
Oh, that's a 1.
Oh, I get a G of
Ooh.
intrusion too. So
Wow.
this is fun. This is one of my favorite things in the system. I was going to put one in anyway, but you get the volunteers tribute here. You feel like as you're trying to go through and like just hammer in this board to help stabilize the mast that is creaking and starting to break apart. You feel something like. First, you thought it was just the wind kind of pulling at you, the rain sleeting into you, but you feel like something sticky on your back. Initially, it doesn't bother you. You're able to go through and continue pounding, and then you feel a jerk. And you feel yourself lifted off the ground, and for once, it's not Ravel's fault. And you see, or start to be slowly dragged to the edge of the ship. And you guys all see this, but Arel, I'm going to pick on you next. You see kind of everybody doing this. You see Anar, and you can see Anar full on. His back is lit up with like this. If it wasn't for the light of the moon, the kind of light of the moon, along with the rain kind of pouring and breaking apart across it, it'd be hard to notice. But you see this almost crystalline web attached to him, kind of just jerking him as he fights with his might to stay aboard the ship. What do you do, Arel?
Well, considering I am trained in climbing and balance, I was going to offer my services to climb up and handle any rigging that's necessary. So I figure I'm probably up in the rigging, and I will jump down and I will try to break the web that I see.
Perfect. And how does Arel go about trying to break that web?
If he's right below me, I would actually try and kind of come right down on top of it with my fists.
Nice. All right, give me a might roll. I am going to give you a bonus for coming down from above. So initially it was going to be a 4. That brings it down to a 3 on the 9. So it'd be a DC 9 for this one.
I'm going to
Unless
go
you've got
ahead and
anything else
apply
that
a
will-
level of effort for that, for 2 points, since I have an edge of 1.
Sweet, that'll bring it down to 6.
I got a 10.
Solid. You come through like this fist outraised as you kind of come from the air and chop through this crystalline web that was pulling Anar off. And as you kind of look through it, Anar, as you kind of jerk back, as you're kind of control of yourself again, you see hanging on the ship, kind of slowly clawing its way up, this horrific looking crab. It's like almost the color of pale bluish, almost purple like water. You see it's got these big red eyes that glow even against the darkness. One of the things that probably stands out the most with it is you see patches of both crystal along with metal along the crab's like exterior and its shell as it slowly claws its way up along the ship. You can just pick it all. This creature looks fearsome. But what we're going to do next, everybody's got a chance to go. We are going to go into initiative for a quick little combat to show off this system. Very easy with initiatives on this. You guys are going up against the crab, so it is a 4. So anybody that rolls 12 or better, you guys go first. Anybody that's below 12, you guys go after the crabs. So sure, roll a d20 utilizing speed. And shout out what you get, and you can still use effort and everything that if there's any ability that applies to your initiative, you can still use it on initiative as well.
I beat him. I got a 14.
Now I roll a 20.
11.
Ooh.
I got a 10.
Do you get an extra effect on a 20 on initiative? I don't remember.
I don't think so. Let me check though.
It might be like a major effect, although I don't remember what those are.
It's usually like
Those might
whatever
be
you
combat specific stuff.
whatever you can think of.
These are all combat.
It does say something about you get a major effect if it makes sense.
So, Ravel, you were kind of helping that one of the deckhands stay rooted to the ship. What's something else, kind of just to help shift the tide just a bit, that Ravel could be doing as he hears about these ghost crabs?
I was not the one that rolled the 20.
Oh, you went to who's one with the 20?
No, it was me.
No, you all right. Yeah, Nara, you get it. Like you kind of spin as you see that crab clawing up with something that just a little bit of narrative piece that could help the group along that you could do there.
I don't know. I'm kind of pissed he tried to drag me off, so I think I'm going to try to attack him.
Perfect. What we'll do is we will give you one ease that you can apply to your next attack on your turn. So let me go through with this. So everybody who rolled above or 12 or above, you guys get to go first. There's no order you have to go in. You guys can kind of decide amongst the crew how you want to tackle those. For those that are after or 11 or less, the crabs will get to go before you, but then same thing. You can kind of determine who goes when between the crew. So guys are up first. You guys can decide how you want to do it. You see one of the ghost crabs kind of slowly clawing up one side of the ship. How do you react?
So I want to go ahead and attack this guy. So I'm going to need to walk through that a little bit. It's my first time in Numenera here.
Perfect. So nice thing with Numenera is you get one action that you can do per turn. But you can also move a bit with your action. So you can move up to 10 feet along as part of your action as well. So Anar, what type of weapon did you have? I forgot what you said.
I've got a dagger and a rapier, so I'm going to pull out the rapier for right now and see if I can stab him.
Perfect. He's still a little distance away. You could make it if you go those 10 feet, but you would need to kind of hang off the side of the deck if you wanted to strike at him.
Okay.
All right. So that will be a speed check. This is going to be a DC 2, or not, I keep saying DC, difficulty tier 2. So 6 challenge, all that side. Do you have anything that may help you with climbing or kind of keeping your balance to help ease it?
Well, I'm trained in climbing.
Perfect. So what train does is two tiers of being special, or 2 tiers in being proficient. This system, trained and specialist. Trained brings it down by 1, so this brings you down to a DC 3 roll.
And the rapier is a light weapon, which eases the attack also.
Solid. So you get a speed check. You just got to beat a 3.
19.
Solid. Yeah, you're able to kind of haul yourself over the deck, keep your balance as you're trying to go through and stab this ghost spider. So with that, your rapier, as Samir said, eases you by 1. You also get an ease from that major effect as well. So to hit this ghost crab, you just need to roll a 6. Now bringing it down from 12.
20 again.
Sick.
Oh my God.
So this time you actually get to add the regular major effects. So with this, if you roll a 20 in Numenera during combat, there's some major effects you can apply. There's 4 of them, but I think I probably know which one you're going to pick. You can knock someone down, you can disarm them, you can stun them, impair them.
I think I'm going to try it. I think I'm going to knock him off the ship.
Perfect. And there's no extra additional roll for that piece. So how does that all go down? How does that look as Anar gets into this?
So as I was getting dragged and the thread got broken and I kind of turned around and saw what was happening, I kind of, leap over the railing with one hand holding on the other hand in the rapier and just drive it right into the thing and knock it right off back into the water.
You see it crash into the water with a large splash heard across the ship. Now, who else was ahead of the 12 or 12 or above? Rival, as well as Oris. Yeah, so you guys see one of the creatures crashing into the water. You do hear clinking from the other side of the ship. And Oris as well. You still see that this ship is getting perilously close to that web. It is, you'd say, probably in the next 5 to 6 seconds, it's going to collide. What do you two do? And who wants to go first, I should say?
We both like started. It's fine. Can I see? You said that I could hear some like clicking of like another crab perhaps climbing the ship.
Yeah, if you peer over kind of the opposite edge, either the starboard or port side of the ship, you could definitely see one of the creatures kind of coming up and clawing its way. Another of the ghost crabs.
All right. Well, I have a thing I do, and this is my thing. So I'm gonna try to use my weighty ability again, I think. So all it does is briefly increase the weight of a target within short range, enough to stop them in their tracks, preventing them from moving and hindering any tasks on their next turn. So it is an action. I have to roll. So here we go.
Do you have anything that will aid or ease, this down? This would be a 12 as a straight roll.
Not that I know of. So I think I'm just going to do it.
Go for
I
it.
believe in myself. That is not going to be it, though. It's a 9.
Even still, how does that look as you try to increase the gravity around this ghost crab, even with the resisting?
All right, so I reach over the edge and just like sort of point my hand out at it, and it for just a brief second, it like stops as its weight suddenly dramatically increases, but it seems like it's strong enough to just like jam its claws and legs into the ship and just continues climbing upwards, creating little divots in the side of the ship as it jams its claws into the wood.
Perfect. All right,
it's not working, and I'm just gonna like back up a little bit as it climbs up towards me.
Oris, you are the last of the crew that's before the spider. What do you do? You're on mute.
So initially, I'm kind of looking at the web, thinking, not sure how we're going to divert, and then I kind of hear a plea for help on my left. Since I'm probably towards the front of the ship, I'll move off to the side. I'll peek over, and I'll try to pull out my bow and take a shot at
Nice.
the crab. And so I believe that is a speed with the bow.
That's right. And this is a 12 unless you have something that eases it or spend points to ease it.
It's 1 point to ease.
3 points to ease, but if you do have a speed edge, it'll take it off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just roll straight and hope for the 12.
All right.
Ooh, 6. So the shot goes wide.
Kind of see it just plink off of this crab's armor as it's slowly making its way up through this just torrential downpour. So that is all of the party's turn that went before the crab. You see one of the other crab kind of bumbling in the water, but one of them is climbing its way up. It makes its way to the top of the deck. And yeah, Oris, it's going to stare at you. You see this thing with all 6 of its unblinking red eyes like focused upon you. And you see it lash out with its claws. So with this, PC or game masters don't roll dice for this system. So even with defense, players roll. So give me a speed check. Once again, you're trying to beat that 12.
All right. And so I have defense might. So defense might specifically is like a different.
So what's the defense might say?
So for tough, it says that you are trained in might defense. So that's like a specific thing, though. You'll get attacked with might, and then.
Well, I think you can with might defense, you can use might for your defense versus speed. So if you've got anything else that can burn for might.
I do have an edge 1 with might. So I'll go ahead and use an effort. So I'll burn 2.
Perfect. That'll bring it down to 9. See how the dice rolls.
All right. 17.
So you see this crab kind of just slamming this massive claw at you, but luckily you're able to kind of just turn it aside. You see it smash into the deck, kicking up dust and water as it hits. But luckily it does not do any damage to you. And with that, you see the other crab kind of get itself back onto the ship, but still very far down the deck. And you see the ship get even closer to the perilous web. But now we're going to go to our crew that rolled beneath the 12. Samir, Errol, what are you all doing?
Yeah, so I don't have any kind of ranged weapon. Are either the crabs at least within reach of me making a melee attack from the deck of the ship? Or is that not really an option at this point?
Oh, yeah, because one of them's on board the ship now. So
Okay.
the one that is slashed at Oris is right there. So, yeah, you can definitely be within range.
All right, so I kind of pull out this long metal rod that I essentially use as a club. And no one except probably me would know that it's actually the Eternity's external hard drive for storing backup data. But I don't care about any of that. I'm going to run up and whack the crab with the data rod.
It's a really hard drive.
Let's see.
But Attorney just kind of in your ear a bit right now.
Those are the records from 2 centuries ago. All right, so I'm not going to spend any effort on might, but it is a light weapon, so attacks are ease.
Perfect. So it'll bring it down to a 9.
All right, that's a 18, so 2 damage.
Yeah, so you come through and you smack this creature with the hard drive data staff. You hear it recoil in pain a bit, along with Eternity saying it just lost some poem from an ancient civilization. But with that, Errol, you are up.
I rush over to the one that's on the deck, and I assume I'm within short from them, short
Definitely.
distance, and I unleash a flurry of blows, 2 punches.
Light it up.
They are light weapons, so they will ease it by 1 step, and I will apply a level of effort to the damage for the first blow.
Nice.
Punch that crab.
Unfortunately, the first one I rolled a 7. And a 15.
So the 15 will definitely hit.
And I do get +1 damage on my fists. Or, well, actually, on melee weapons because of the glaive trait.
Perfect. What's that bring it up to total for fists? I think it's 2.
It's 3 because of
3.
the light weapons.
Sweet. How does that look as you just kind of the first one probably bumps off against his carapace? So how does that second hit connect?
Second hit, I hit a chunk of the armored plating that you were describing, and it kind of dents it a little bit. I dent it with my fist.
Perfect. When you go through, dent the crab with your fist, the ship kind of comes through, sailing through this just chaotic storm. You do see the ship kind of moving forward through the water, that point where you saw some of the web before it collides with it. I'm going to do a GM intrusion, but I'm hitting you all with this one. So GM intrusions with this. Everybody is going to get a point of XP. XP in the system. If you have XP, you could say, hey, GM does not get an intrusion here. You can spend a point of XP to ignore it. If I did a solo GM intrusion on one person that didn't roll in that one, you would get 2 XP, one for yourself, one you can hand out. But with this one being the whole crew, it is everyone. So you guys get a point of XP, but you also see the ship hear like this almost sickening crunch sound. You see the bow of the ship collide with this web, and you think a web, like it should just cut right through it, but you start to see the ship denting. You start to see like dent first and then start to cut as it starts to kind of break through this metal, and you see the ship start to, it's been like swaying back and forth with the waves and the wind and the crashing, but now it gets even more intense. You see it shift to one side, hurtling you, the crew, the captain, all to one side of the ship. I want everyone to give me a speed check. This is going to be a 9, and seeing how this all goes for you. If you're 9 or above, you stay on the ship. If you're below, we'll figure out what happens.
Is this considered a speed defense?
Speed, yeah.
What's speed defense though? Because I'm specialized in speed defense.
Oh, sweet. I'll give you speed defense. So that will bring it down by what was it, 6? Or yeah, bring it down by 6 to 3.
I rolled an 8.
Roll the 5.
7.
All right.
Everybody's getting thrown off.
I also rolled a 7.
Except for Errol.
So Arrow's good. Everybody I heard failed, but I'm missing somebody. Who hasn't said? Did anybody else see it, I should say? Yeah, I think the whole crew outside of
I got a 15. Sorry, I was on mute.
Oh, perfect. All right, so Aral, Oris, you guys are able to fast enough to kind of grab hold of rope webbing, grab hold of the deck itself, and keep yourself aloft. The rest of the crew, you guys see kind of the ship hit this web and start to break through. The ship heave, and all of a sudden, you're floating end over end, hurtling into the deep, dark, churning ocean as you guys crash within it. You guys see the ship up above you, the waves crashing around you, pretty treacherous waters. And we're going to go back up to the top of initiative, which I think did that line up pretty. Oh, no, it didn't. So, Ravel and R, you are both in the water. Oris, you are outside of the water. What do you guys do?
I
Go ahead.
Die is probably what I'm going to do, I think. I mean, I guess all I can really do is start swimming. I could like turn off the gravity on myself, but I think that would be more hindrance than help right now. I think I just got to start swimming as fast as I can.
All right, these are pretty turning seas. This will be another DC or difficulty tier 3. DC is a hard word to break for tabletop games, so it's a 9 that you've got to beat.
All right,
Unless you can do anything to ease that away. And 9 and might. I can't remember if I said might or not.
Wait, actually, I have a thing that I might be able to use. It feels kind of perhaps like a waste, but it otherwise in real life I'm dying. I might not because I'm a hero because this is an RPG, but in real life I'm dead. But I have a cipher called a travel bubble.
Okay.
That I can activate. And basically it just creates a bubble around myself that I can fly around in. It's supposed to be. It's actually large enough to encompass a bunch, like a group of people. How many people
Is
can
it?
fit? It's meant
We'll
to like.
say it is if it doesn't specify.
Any additional targets that can fit into a space an immediate distance in diameter. So actually, I have a thing. Can I try to get to Anar, who has also fallen into the water?
Yeah, you guys are all kind of roughly around the same spot, so you could definitely kind of reach Anar. And who was the third one that fell in? Samir.
All right, so Anar and Sahimir, if you are close enough to me in an immediate distance, I'm going to activate my travel bubble. I don't know what the level it is. It says the level is 1d6 plus 4. So I guess I should roll that now, or probably should have done it before, but here. Okay, so it's a level 8 cipher. That sounds wild. I don't know how that works. Maybe I should have reread the cipher rules a little bit. But apparently it's a level 8 item. And I have to use it now, but I am activating. I just like have a little like marble that I crush in my hand, and just boom, immediately a bubble appears all around us that can hover. It's relatively slow, but it lasts for 10 hours and can fly. So I would like to just lift all of us up slowly out of the water as we all just like sort of just like in the bottom of the orb that has appeared, just slow. Let me see, what is the speed that it moves exactly?
Does it give speed?
It can move a short distance each round, so it actually moves at normal human walking speed, actually.
Perfect. You guys are you all were in the churning sea, and to Ravel activates his cipher, and you see the bubble enclose you and slowly lift you out of the ocean, getting you guys closer back to the ship. Sweet. With that was Ravel. Anar, Oris, what are you guys thinking?
Oris is going to kind of see the bubble kind of deploy and float above, and then turn back his attention to the crab. So I'll take my quarterstaff, and I will expend a level of effort, and make a swing.
Swing away.
All right. And so that brings it down to a 9.
Yep.
All right. Oh, 9. So it just hit.
Sweet. How much damage does that do again? Is that a light weapon or
medium? So I think it's 4 damage.
Perfect. Yeah, you crack into it as well. This thing is looking. You see like this bluish, purple, almost oil-like blood leaking out of its carapace as you just wail into it. You're starting to see its like spurt blood and start just like almost like. You see its claws shifting, almost losing their balance on the ship as you guys kind of wail into it. But I think, nope, Anar, you were kind of floating above in this. Ravel, what does that bubble look like again?
It looks just like a semi-translucent blue orb that's just like slowly rising up out of the water. I definitely got some water in it as well. So like we're standing in probably like knee-high water in this orb, just sort of floating back towards the ship. Although if it gets bad enough, we might be able to just float in here. It lasts 10 hours, so maybe we can just get to land inside this thing. But I mean, I wouldn't be able to bring anybody else with me, with the 3 of us, unfortunately. I think we're just kind of stuck in here until it dispel it.
You guys are floating in there. Anar, I'll let you say if there's anything that you want to be able to do within that situation.
I think I'm just along for the ride right now.
Yeah, so you see the ship starting to break apart at the front, still seaworthy, still floating above. You see some of the crew still hanging on to the ship, along with some of your specialized companions. But you do see some of the crew trying to fight through the seas. But Anar, it sounds like you were holding on there. Sweet. So that is all 3 of you guys. This is the Ghost Crab's turn. Oris, you whacked him pretty hard there, so you see him turn to you, like this inky blue blood dripping out of his carapace, but he is still trying to get his meal. You see his claws click together, and he's going to lash out at you. Give me a speed. I think you're the one that could do might. So give me a might defense. Beating a 12.
Sorry, so I rolled a 6.
Perfect. So actually not perfect. He hits you pretty hard on that side. You see him clipping into your foot, kind of just dragging you in on that side. It is going to do 6 damage to you.
Oof.
And that's going to be to your might score.
All right. So I do have 2 armor. So does what? Reduce it to 4? Okay.
4. And you see him start to slowly back away towards the ship, clutching your foot. The other ghost spider, you see him abandon the ship and starting to go for easier prey floating in the water. Luckily, our crew is floating above in their magic marble, but for some of the other crew, they are facing the might of the ghost crab. But with that, we're going to go to our last 2. Aral, Samir, you're up.
So, Raval, you don't have any way to turn this thing off?
I mean, I could, but then we would all fall back into the water.
Can you get us at least onto the ship? I can probably disable it if we want to help out the others, but or we can let the ship sink and head to the island on our own.
I guess if we want to leave everyone else behind. It says I can move a short distance each round. So
you are definitely able to keep up with the ship and keep moving up. You'll be on board the ship next round. We can say you can dismiss that whenever you wish to.
All right. So I don't. Does it have to happen on my turn, or can we get there now?
Unfortunately, for getting onto the ship itself, it can happen on your turn. But if
All
you
right.
guys wanted to dismiss it and kind of cling on to the side of the ship and climb your way back up, you're more than able to.
I think probably wait till next turn.
All right. Yeah. Sorry about this, y'all. I thought, this is better than drowning. We just rise up back towards the deck.
Yeah, Shahemir seems pretty annoyed. She's like crossed her arm, like tapping her foot on the bottom of this orb, but wants to do something, but we'll just wait until we get to the ship.
Are we leaving crew behind?
There are crew in the water right now.
But are we moving away from them fast?
So the ship is still sailing forth. It's not like going at a with the kind of the tumult of the waves and all that. It's not going very quickly. It's one that you could probably, if you could brave the waters and keep yourself above board, you may be able to save a crew member too.
I have a rope, so can I tie it to something that might float, for example, a piece of wood, and chuck the rope, one end of the rope out to try and help rescue the crew members?
Definitely. So there's let's see. So there's 4 crew members out there, but you could definitely kind of throw that over and see if you can get haul one of them in.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Perfect. Give me a might check. We'll say keep that easy. DC 3 on the side. So beating a 9 to see if you can kind of haul that crew member that grabs it back in.
I got a 15.
Solid. Yeah, you throw that into the ocean. You see one of the crew members, this kind of short, stout, pale guy, just lash onto the piece of wood, just clinging to it for dear life. You're easily able to haul him back into the ship, keeping him safe. So that's everybody. Back up to the top of the order. Reval, you and your floating sphere have made it back on board to the deck. You can release that without utilizing an action if you wish, or you can. If you guys want to stay super safe on the deck, you're able to do that as well. Up to you. You're muted.
As much as I would love to stay safe in this floating orb, I do feel like the rest of the crew needs our help. So as soon as we get safely over the deck of the ship, I'm going to dismiss the thing. Just like the orb just sort of cracks and just like falls into a bunch of harmless like pieces, dissolves into dust. And I land back down on the ship. Remind me, there is still a crab on the ship.
There's a
currently
crab that looks real worse for the wear.
Okay. In that case, I am going to just try. Reveal has a slingshot as his weapon, but like a good one, not just like a little children's slingshot. It's like a legit slingshot. So he's gonna load up a ball bearing into it and aim for the eyes of this crab to try to scare it off, get it to run away, get it out of here. Because this is, I'm hoping, an animal, and like if it gets seriously hurt, we'll just leave us alone. Do I want to spend points for this? Is the question. I think I do.
I'll say 12 is the target number. Otherwise,
Yeah, I'm gonna spend 2 from my pool because I have an edge in speed. So bringing me down to 9. And that'll bring down the difficulty by 1. And here we go. So I need to beat a 9 if I understand correctly. I got an 18, which is I think a minor effect happens on an 18.
I believe so.
At the very least, on an attack, it does like I think 1 or maybe 2 extra damage.
I think it's 2 extra damage on an attack.
Yep.
Sweet. Okay, so it normally does 4 damage, so 6 damage total. Because I shot the crab right in the eye with a ball bearing, shot from a slingshot.
And that's actually enough to put that ghost crab down. How does that look?
All right, so as soon as we like get out of the orb, I quickly just reach into a pouch that I have at my back and just like aim my slingshot and just fire, and it hit right in the eye. It's like right eye just explodes, and it lets out a horrible crab sound, whatever sound crabs make. And immediately it like backs away and stumbles a few steps backwards and jumps, like half jumps, half falls off the edge of the ship into the water.
Perfect. You hear this weird like noise as that's a sound I think crabs make as you pierce through it, and it crashes overboard and starts to sink into the deep sea. Bits of blood, bluish blood, staining the water. There are no for the rest of the group, there are no crabs aboard the ship. The ship is fairly heavily damaged as it broke through that web, and the web cut into the ship itself. It's definitely in a pretty rough spot. The other crab off the ship, it is trying to go after some of the other 3 crew that fell off board. But depending on what you guys decide, do you decide to prioritize saving the crew, prioritize fixing the ship, prioritize getting the hell out of Dodge in the storm? The rest of the crew, what do you do? Anar, Iral, or not Iral, Anar and Oris, you are up first.
How is the ship like actively sinking right now?
It's not sinking, but you did see that web cut into the bow, and pieces of it are starting to crumble. It's luckily the King Laren gave you a metal ship, but it's not taking on water yet. But without repairs, it will soon be.
Okay, in that case, I think I'm going to prioritize trying to get whatever crew that's in the water out of the water so that they can fix the ship with the know-how that they have. So if I can see anybody at least close enough that I can throw a rope to them, I'm going to try and do that.
Perfect. So same piece on that side. You could throw a rope out, and it will be a DC or a difficulty 9 to be able to bring it in.
So I'm trying to beat a 9?
Beat a 9, yep.
14.
Say difficulty 3, target number 9. You got a 14?
Yep.
Sweet. You throw kind of another rope out, are able to haul in another the crew. So far, there are only 2 in the water now, as the creature, now is the ghost crab's turn. So, who's feeling lucky with the rolls today?
Actually, before we do that, can I try to save one too for my?
Oh
turn?
yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you're up first. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll do the same thing. I'll try to haul one in. 10.
Solid. Yeah, you were easily able to bring another one in. So now there's just one left in these perilous waters as the ship is kind of starting to break apart. The ghost crab that is left is going to target that singular kind of crew member that is thrashing in the waves. You see this tall, lanky dude doing his best to just almost just keep above the water, but the crab is just angling towards it. So one of you guys will get to roll a might defense for it to see if you can stop this crab from taking down the crew member. The crew member is not going to be, they're not very extraordinary, so one hit will down it. Who feels lucky today?
I'll go ahead and make that roll.
Fair.
11.
Fortunately, you see the crew member tries to do his best to avoid it, but this crab rakes its claw across him, and you see just this blood spurt up through the water as it starts to slowly bubble down. But you do, we'll be out of initiative order now. You do see the ship kind of hurtling out, or kind of through the storm. You all know too, it's kind of been this weird, almost like clockwork piece. Once you reach dawn, the storm should abate, and dawn is not too far away. But the hardest thing right now is the ship is damaged. The ship that King Laird has given you to make your way to the island, that the web did a number on it. Repairing it, keeping yourselves out of these perilous waters is probably your next big task. How does the group approach this?
Does the ship have any electrical components, or is it just like metal, kind of using the sides to float?
Very sparingly, but they do have some electrical components and some Numenera kind of powering it.
Okay, I'll check if any of that's damaged, and if so, use my skills to try to make repairs for those parts of it.
Perfect. You do see it looks like kind of on the edge of the ship, kind of looking through with attorney probably in your back ear at the same time. It does look like kind of the almost a stabilizer for the ship was heavily damaged during that collision with the crystalline web. Riding it won't stop the water from coming in, but it will help keep the ship back to its old stability as you go through those waters. This is going to be a pretty tricky repair, especially with the storm lashing around you. Without modifications, this is going to start at a difficulty tier 5 or a 15, but it's possible to bring it down if you've got some stuff to help.
Yeah, so I have a skill on tasks involving electrical machines. Would understanding Numenera help here as well?
It would.
And then, so I'm picturing it's like this kind of stabilizer device that like fell over and needs to be like properly reset. I also have a skill for tasks involving incredible focus or concentration. So if I like, while everyone else is dealing with the rest of the stuff, hold this thing in place and make sure I'm holding it perfectly still to do the stabilization. Would that help at all here as well, or should I just use those other 2 skills?
So you've got a skill, an asset. What was the other piece you said? The focus piece?
Yeah, so this is from Strong Willed. I have let me see if the wording says asset or skill, but I have written down tasks requiring incredible focus or concentration.
Perfect, because those two will definitely combine together. You can have 2 assets, so if it's an asset, you're good on that side.
It's a skill.
I think you can only apply 1 skill, unfortunately.
This is all okay.
But those 2 together will bring that down from a 15 all the way to a 9.
All right, and then I'll apply some. Is that intellect roll?
That is an intellect roll.
All right, so I'll apply a level of effort as well.
Perfect. That'll bring that down to a 6.
All right, and that's a 7 on the D20.
Just enough. You go through attorney and you working together to be able to kind of fix the electrical work within this Numenera, the stabilizer device, holding it perfectly in place until you can finally activate it. And you see the ship is still bouncing through the waves, but it is a little bit more stabilized.
And yes, I'm like pushing it into place, but at the same time, I'm also saying like, okay, we really need your help right now. Like, if you could just keep doing your job of stabilizing. And I'm literally talking to this device, and it's like reacting to my voice in a way that like changes the function and gets it working properly.
For anybody that was around to see, you do see as Samir spoke, kind of a rhythmic, kind of flashing of lights and kind of whirring noises going off, almost as if they were in conversation. Sweet. So you guys see the boat is a little bit more stabilized. The only piece now that is really imperiling this crew is you do see there are some significant holes in the ship where the web kind of tore through the metal that would need to be patched so you can make your way out and through the storm. Does anybody want to tackle that?
I have an idea to try, but it's all about whether or not we have the tools to actually do that. Like, do I have like a blowtorch available somewhere where we could like actually seal the holes in this metal ship?
You don't have a blowtorch, but you do have kind of what they've been doing is kind of patching this ship with pieces of wood when things are broken. With the ninth world, a lot of the technology has been lost except for those wizard-like nanos. So no blowtorches, but you could definitely find a way to stick some wood in.
All right. Well, I want to. Errol, I believe, has a rope, right? And has now yanked it back up. All right. I'm gonna grab one end of Errol's rope and begin tying it around my waist as I explain this to you. Errol, could you hold on very tight? Actually, Oris, could you do this too? Just hold on, yeah, like hand the other end of the rope to them. Hold on very, very tightly. And then I'm going to activate my hover ability, which would normally cost 1 intellect point, but I have an intellect edge of 1. And I just turn off the gravity for myself and throw myself over the edge of the ship.
Oh no, not this again.
Perfect. You hurl off the edge of the ship with a few of the crew holding you down. What do you do next, Ravel?
I'm just immediately. I grabbed like whatever supplies I could. I grabbed I don't know, nails and some planks that they have, like, you know, spare supplies. I imagine somebody from the crew was intending to bring that up to try to fix things, but I'm just like, give me that, I can do this. And I jump over the edge and just immediately start trying to, you know, the chaos, just like putting the planks in place to like seal the holes in the ship.
Perfect. Give me your choice of intellect, which would be a difficulty 4, so it will be a 12 on the target number, or might, which will be a difficulty 3 or a 9 at the target number. Kind of seeing how you're prioritizing this work. If you're trying to just power through it, if you've got like some smart plan to keep yourself stable as the ship is bucking and the storm is raging around it.
All right, I'm going to use intellect, and I'm going to use a level of effort. So that costs me 2 points, bringing me now to 12.
Perfect.
And the way I'm like stabilizing myself is I'm having to, in time with like the movement of the ship, turn on and off the gravity on myself in order to like stay in one place. Because like sometimes I'm like, oh no, if I'm too heavy right now, then I'm gonna fall. But then there's other times where like, okay, now I have no weight and I'm floating away from the ship. So I have to like, that's why it's an intellect test to like hold myself in place to like quickly and steadily like turn the gravity on and off in order to keep myself in place while I just hammer away at this this task. Yeah, that's one level of effort and believing in myself. Here we go. I got a 17.
Belief paid off. You're able to, with kind of like this, and Aral and Anar, like, it's weird with this rope because for a moment it's like there's nothing attached to it. Heavy. Nothing attached to it. Heavy. As Raval turns off the gravity and turns it on and off, it pounds this piece of wood, kind of blocking the largest hole on the ship King Laren provided you. Raval, as you get that hammered in place and look around, the other damage is definitely something that'll need to be repaired eventually. But once you make it back to port, this is damage you could sail through. You've gotten rid of the worst of it. But as you guys look through the storm, the only other peril that remains, as after you've dealt with the ghost crabs, dealt with the damage to the ship, is finding your way through this storm. Those remaining on board, do you have anything that can help with that?
Yes, I think has it been like longer than a minute probably at this point, right?
Since the start of kind of when you guys came on deck, definitely. Since the combat with the ghost crabs, no.
Yeah, so I'll ask so I'll send my bird up again and just try to see if I can get a better view of what's going around, and specifically looking for any type of land or safe harbor.
Perfect. Give me so as the bird tries to fly through, tries to make its way kind of above the storm and see if it could look across the ocean. Give me a might check as it kind of goes against this torrents of rain and wind. It is going to be a difficulty 3, so target number 9.
All right. Ooh, 4.
All right. I did not look up the creatures. Do they take any damage, or do they have HP or
Yeah,
pool,
they've
I should say?
Yep. So yeah,
it's going to take I think it's using creature stats, not player stats, right?
Yep, creature stats, and it has a target number of 6 and 6 health.
Perfect. It is going to take 4 damage as you see like rain, winds buffeting into it. It is able to make its crest above the water. You see kind of through its vision as it like beats through the storm, just weary, winded, and hurt as it makes its way in. And one of the things you see is like it's almost like night and day. You see this raging storm on one side where it came from and where you and the crew were fighting on board the ship. Other side, clear blue. It's still dark, but clear water, no wind, no rain. And you see kind of on this rocky outgrowth, a ship crashed into it. The ship kind of has the same colors and flag of Gan, the nation that hired you to make your way out there. But the creature, at least from this distance, is not able to see anything living or anything moving aboard it. So last big thing is getting that creature back to you. This will be a little bit easier. It's going to be a might check difficulty 2, but it does see the way as it's crawled through. You just got to beat a 6 to make sure it does not take any additional damage and makes its way back to the ship.
3.
Oof.
Oof. All right, this thing, like you feel through its senses, you see through its eyes. This creature has braved the waters, the storm, but you do see, like, as it tries to dive back, make its way back to the ship. You see it is buffeted by the wind, buffeted by the rain, buffeted by thunderous kind of roar from lightning, and you see just a spirit gust sends it crashing into the water, not too far from the divide between the kind of what it saw as the storm and the calm. But before we get back to that piece, who hasn't done something yet? I think an R and a roll, right?
I don't have anything to help with this scenario, so at the moment I'm just holding the rope, helping him.
Perfect.
Yeah, I don't think I
Pull me up! Pull me up! Pull me up!
to help either.
So you guys are able to haul him aboard with the both of you on the rope, easily able to get him back on, especially with his weightless self. With that too, Oris, do you share that information with the rest of the group?
Yeah, so you kind of see he kind of just blinks a few times as he kind of sees through the vision of the bird hitting the water, and kind of you can kind of hear it in his tone as he describes what he saw, and then he probably leaves out the last part. Captain, I think there's safe harbor this way. We've also found the ship.
You see the captain, like his trademark silver cap is just soaked through. His face has been like this composed, like stern, like trying to command face, but his eyes have been pretty much, oh shit, we're gonna die through this whole encounter. But you do see hope enter them, and he points at Anar Aral. He goes, "You two, row. Uh, either grab the sails and pull them to, or grab an oar and haul. We are pushing to that clear blue sky." And both of you guys give me a might check. With this, it is going to be a difficulty 3. But if one of you succeeds it by 3 or more, it'll lower the difficulty for the other.
I rolled an 18.
18, nice. So, Aral, this will be a difficulty 6 to you. Or target number 6.
I got a 16.
Solid. You all gonna grab the sails or grab the oars, whatever you may do there, and just heave and push for all you might. And you see this ship cut through these darkened waters and start to make for the break between the storm and the clearness. And eventually, you do see the first bit of the ship crest through, slowly followed by the rest of it, and you see the wind not die down. The wind stops. Like in one half of the ship, clear. One half of the ship, like torrential gust. And as the ship goes through, it just begins to ebb and slow until nothing is still there. Oris, this is going to be like you see as you guys are kind of maneuvering through, your creature kind of starting to sink into the water. You see kind of the boat's trajectory kind of maneuvering near it. This is going to be a fairly difficult test. I know Oris is by the ropes as well to see if you can kind of expertly lasso your creature and pull it back aboard the ship. This is going to be a speed check. It's going to be a target number or a difficulty of 5, so a target number of 15. Before anything that you can do to bring down that number.
I assume I'm busy, but can I offer help?
So unfortunately, you're rowing or pulling the sails in that moment. You're muted, Oris.
Okay, this is going to be a terrible idea, but I feel he would probably try to lasso himself and jump in the water.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's good or bad, but yeah, I think he'll try to actually just swim after and grab the creature, and then have a way to pull himself back by the rope.
Perfect.
I can be the anchor. I can tie the other end of it and just like weight myself down while I hold on to the edge.
So with this, the first roll on the side is you're going to need to kind of like you've tied yourself in, you're diving into the water. The first check is going to be a might check, kind of swimming through these seas. At the moment, the crew is tied up for the might check, with some pulling oars, some kind of getting pulled back onto the boat, and others kind of just completing their task with the stabilizer. So be on your own for the first check. On the second check, the crew will be able to assist you to get you back on board. So might check, difficulty 4, DC 12.
So I do have the swimming skill.
All right. That brings it down to 9.
Reduce it down to 9. And here we go. Actually, we'll go with an effort. We'll go with an effort on this one.
Birds with points.
Yeah. All right, so that'll bring it down to 6.
Yep.
I'm going to re-roll it. It was a 20. It fell on my keyboard.
Go for it.
20 again.
They really wanted you to succeed on that double nat 20s. There's not going to be a second roll. How does Oris super action movie off this ship and get his bat back?
So he kind of like peeks and he almost kind of sees it as it's kind of falling through the water. And he just grabs the rope as he's jumping off the side of the ship. and lassos himself as he hits like a cannonball style to pull himself under, to just try to, as fast as he can, and don't miss that window style.
You like jump off, rope in hand, hit the water, swim through, grab the pet, pull yourself back on board before the crew even fully notices that you're missing. And as you do that, the ship makes its way completely out of the storm. It's still night sky. You see the ship's lights illuminating the area around you. You see this ring of like this rocky outgrowth. Like it's pretty large, like it's say soccer field size of this ring of just rocks surrounding this pool of water. And on the outside of these rocks, you do see kind of the wreckage of a gone ship that looks like it's run afoul of the rocks. But that is where we're going to take a quick 5-minute break and get into the second half of the adventure. We've got a lot of people in on this one. Shout out to those who are hanging out with us today. We've got 14 already entered into the giveaway, but if you haven't yet, throw Numenera into the chat for your chance to win a free PDF copy of this system so you can run it with you and your crew. And then, yeah, we'll raffle that off a little bit later this adventure, but everybody join us back 8:50. And we'll get back in the second half of it. Welcome back, everyone, to the part 2 of our Numenera adventure. Quick shout before we get into back into it. Definitely make sure to throw Numenera into the chat to get your chance to win. Nightbot's working tonight, so it's going to be very easy, especially since we've got 14 people in so far. So definitely make sure to throw that in and get a chance to win your copy of this system and get to run it with you and your crew. But diving back in, so the crew has just made their way outside of this perilous storm with outside of one lucky sailor. They're both able to pull the adventuring crew as well as the ship's crew through this untouched. The ship's battered, bruised, and definitely in need of a good docking and repair, but should serve to get through the rest of this journey. But as they emerge from the storm, they see this giant, like almost soccer field sized ring, very symmetrical across, and you see it is ringed by these rocks, these jagged looking rocks kind of on the edges of that circle. You see there is a ship from Gan, definitely able to tell by the flag they're flying, as well as just your own the own descriptions you've been giving. This is one of the ships that had made the expedition to find this island chain before, but had never made its way back to the island nation. So you see it crashed upon the rocks, this perfect or nearly symmetrical ring. And one of the things that kind of stands out is you all see these kind of like darkened, even still waters on your side of the rocks. But on the other side, like it almost has like this almost tropical blue to them. One of those blues that just, even in like this dimly lit kind of like a nighttime turning into kind of dawn type sky, the blue almost seems to stand out, almost seems to reflect the moon and nascent sunlight back at you, and almost with its own inner glow inside of it.
Well, that's weird.
We'll look at you all and go, I leave it in y'all's hands. King Land said to defer to y'all's decisions. Do you want to take a closer look?
It doesn't seem as big of a place to travel to as I expected, but maybe there's more than meets the eye. Yeah, set us down along those rocks, but carefully as I look towards the other ship.
Perfect. He goes, aye, aye. And you see he does kind of get the crew to start, kind of hoist the sails to start the oars rowing, and moves you closer in. And as you get closer in, you start to see a little bit more detail on these rocks. And it takes a little bit of time to get there. And as it does too, the sun itself kind of fully gets into the morning kind of glow. And you start to see these kind of what the rocks in the ship look like a bit more clear. You see these rocks all have like the same hue. And you see the pieces are broken off and all has like the same almost dark black almost near uniform hue across them, with some of the rocks broken in jagged patterns, some of them in areas where there's no broken or erosion. It almost is like a near perfect smoothness to it. The ship, as you guys get closer and kind of see the rocks, the hues, the breaking patterns, you see the ship like almost looks like it was hurtled up against the rocks, broken, still held together on one side, but the other side is broken nearly in two. You see the sails have holes in them, and you see kind of the crisscrossing through the sails, through bits of deck as well, of that same crystalline web that you came across earlier with the crabs. But they are able to get you near the rocks. You do hear the captain go, all right, we got you. We got you fairly close. I'm going to give you a boat. You can row the rest of your way there. We'll anchor off dock, and once you are done exploring, you can make your way back to the ship. Not risking us any near those rocks.
All right, makes sense. Thank you very much. Reveal pulls off his helmet and pours a bunch of water out of it, puts it back on. Okay, let me go grab my stuff and then run down below deck. Come back with a big, hefty backpack full of all kinds of lovely exploration supplies.
So, Horus is beat up, and so kind of during this, he'll kind of tend to his bird, and also, could I do a recovery roll? And I guess if there is enough time,
whatever gear I
potentially
have,
a second recovery roll.
get ready to get on that boat, I guess.
Yeah, so you do have time to do both the one action as well as the 10-minute recovery rolls. Actually, you'd have it up to an hour. So if you wanted to do a third recovery roll, because it did take a lot of time for them to sail, kind of end that last little bit. So anybody that would like to do a recovery roll, you've got up to an hour to be able to do so.
All right. Hopefully 2 will do it. All right.
You don't have to use them in order, though, right? Like I could use the 1 hour one, and just that.
Oh, I think you have to use them in order because it goes the first one, and then kind of time increases.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I rolled a 3 and a 4. So what? It's a 1d6 plus 1. Are we tier 1?
Yeah.
Yep. So you guys are tier 1,
Okay.
and then you divide that amongst your stat pools.
Okay. And then tough gives me an extra 1. So is that what? 2d6 plus 2 effectively? Or no?
Oh, yeah. 2d6 you're doing it twice. That's right.
All right. So 7, 9, 11 total.
Ooh, that's a lot.
I'm almost healed.
All right. Reveal, I think, wants to just float his way on over to land on the rocks. If I normally can just without even thinking about it, can just turn the gravity off on myself. But if I focus really hard, I can float. But that's all I'm doing. If I'm just super focusing on what I'm doing, I can push myself through the air.
Perfect. You were able to float your way over. You land on the rocks. It's kind of what type of footwear, out of curiosity, is Reveal wearing?
Just simple traveling boots, I think. If it's slippery, that's might be a bit of a problem for me. I do have a geology training, so I want to take a moment to like look at these rocks, see if does this look man-made or perhaps being made from one of the previous ages, perhaps.
Solid. Give me a roll on that side. Intellect, the geology training. This will initially be a difficulty 4 that brings that down to a difficulty 3, so a target number of 9.
All right. I also have a book on geology on me, but I think hold on. If I can devote half an hour to the task, then I can get an additional asset as well.
So you did that while Oris was resting, right?
Yeah, sure.
I'll tell you, while the ship was rolling you in, you would have that hour to spend, so you can definitely burn that. So that'll give you that's a skill plus an asset, so that'll bring that down to difficulty 2-6.
Cool. Here we go. I got a 10.
Solid. Yeah, you look at these, and it's like between kind of some of the pictures in your books and kind of looking at your own knowledge with geology, you definitely realize these rocks aren't kind of naturally formed. And as you like put your boot upon them too and are able to kind of maneuver off some of the grime and sea gunk that has like clouded them, they almost have like a little bit of a metallic feel to them. With your knowledge on that side and roll too, you would guess this is metal from something that has just been beat down through the passing of years. And you know this is definitely something that came from an age before. So it has been thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years that this thing has been weathered through these waters.
Fascinating. I wonder. And I'm like looking around. It's like the shape is like a rectangle, vaguely. I wonder if this perhaps used to be a building that has been destroyed or worn down over the many years. I'm talking to myself, looking out over while everybody else catches up with me on a rowboat. Although at this point, everyone's probably caught up with me because it took me half an hour to look at these rocks.
More of an oval versus a rectangle, but definitely on that side. And then the rest of the crew, you guys are able to make your way there, getting off the rowboat. You see kind of these steep rocks, the wreckage of the other gone boat. And you see this deep, almost glowing blue water on the other side. What do you guys do?
So pretty quickly, as soon as I step onto the rocks, I'm going to consult the Eternity as I scan them. So this is a action where I scan an area equal in size to a 10-foot cube, including all objects or creatures in the area. Scanning a creature or object always reveals its level. You also learn whatever facts the GM feels are pertinent about the matter and energy in the area. But many materials and energy fields prevent or resist scanning. So this might be one of the materials. We'll see.
Perfect. Was there a roll with that? Or does it just...
It just says it's a action to use. It's one of the like nano esoteries. I don't know if it requires a roll or not though.
Perfect. So if it does say a roll, so you kind of go through, you scan kind of this area, and you see a number of things that stand out to you from the go. Also, you're able to confirm that these rocks are definitely pieces of metal, pieces of a fairly advanced technology that was just abandoned and lost to time and starting to kind of wear down from this constant kind of sea and storm around it. You do see significant energy readings coming from kind of like almost like something that's powering something pretty significant around you. And it kind of does kind of lead you to a spot near the ship that came ashore. And see if you kind of make your way there. You kind of see the power running towards that area. So you notice that too. But this is definitely some pretty advanced Numenera around there. And you definitely see that the last piece I'll give you with that scan too, it almost seems like this location, this kind of this rocky outgrowth oval it hasn't been in this exact location for very long. Almost seems like it's capable of movement.
Ooh.
What's the rest of the crew doing? Or Samir, do you have any thoughts?
Well, let's see. I'm gonna try just to kind of see what happens. I'm gonna use another ability I have. Actually, I'll say like out loud, like, okay, if you can move, why don't you show us? I'd love to see what you're capable of. As I'm like looking down at the rocks, and I'm gonna use my distant activation. Maybe this will work here, maybe it won't. But it's I can activate or deactivate any machine I can see within short range. But to use this ability, I must understand the function of the machine. So I mean, you tell me if like movement is its primary function, or if there's more I don't understand that I wouldn't be able to accurately activate it. And it can't be connected to another intelligence or be intelligent itself.
You are definitely able to activate it. It is not directly connected to another intelligence, but I get to use a GM intrusion, and it really fits the narrative too. So this is a solo GM, well, a solo GM intrusion, at least for right now. It may spread, but so you get 1 XP. You get to choose somebody else to gain another XP. Actually, you also have an XP in your inventory as well. You could just say, "Hey, I don't want this intrusion to happen," where we wouldn't dole out the XP. So, does this intrusion happen? You're muted too.
I kind of figured tinkering with these things would cause problems, so I'm gonna see what happens. And the extra XP I'll give to Reveal, give that you're already kind of focused and trying to figure out what this thing was, and you were using your knowledge and logic, and I just came in here with my weird technology and just see, like, let's see what happens.
Let's just push that, or mentally push that button.
Oh boy, can't wait.
So you communicate to the machine, you activate your ability to kind of have it start doing whatever it is and asking it to move. You see that kind of like almost glowing blue water start to churn. You see with your scanning, the energy readings for a moment drop. And as you see them drop, you look back kind of you can kind of see around you the storm that was kind of almost ringing this area dissipates. And you see that glowing blue water burst out into the sky. You see it start to churn and just like this almost geyser-like approach, and you feel the rocks beginning to move. Samir, I'm going to need you to give me a might check to kind of hold into your position as this thing starts to rocket.
Okay.
No, difficulty 4 too.
Okay.
So target number 12.
Let's see. I don't think I have any skills here. Well, yeah. I will spend some effort on that. So that brings it down to a 9, but I rolled a 4.
Yeah, so you all see this all happening kind of almost at once. You see, Samir, did you say anything out loud, or is that like all just kind of like in your head too with talking to the machine?
No, I talked to it out loud.
Talking out loud, perfect. So you guys hear him say, "Move." And the machine does. It kicks into gear. You see the storm that kind of surrounded on the outskirts of this outcropping dissipate. You see this geyser bubble out. And you see Samir kind of buffeted by this water and lose his balance and begin to fall into this deep blue liquid. What do the rest of you guys do at this point?
Freaking out. What the hell was that? So it's like
Can I
shooting
reach
up a
out
geyser like into the sky. Like, is it like a super wide geyser like filling up the whole thing, or is it like just in the center, just like spraying?
It's just in the center, so it probably fills about a third of it.
Okay. Sorry, what were you gonna say, Errol?
I would reach out and help Samir.
So he is like he's in like that kind of like geyser swept him up. You could definitely try to jump and see if you can catch him before he's kind of completely lost to the water. But it'll throw you at a little bit of risk too.
I would use my speed to try and get there as quickly as I can. Yep.
Perfect. All right. So this will be another difficulty 4. So 12 check for speed. And anything they can do to ease it.
I am trained in balance and careful movement. This probably wouldn't be very careful though. So
I did be careful before. Yeah.
okay, and then I will expend a level of effort. I also have a speed edge of 1. So
Sweet. So bring that down to 2 points and brings the difficulty down to 2 as well. So 6. You got to beat.
14.
Solid. Yeah, how does that look? You see kind of this geyser erupt, sweeping Samir into its grasp, nearly pulling him into this just deep blue liquid. How do you grab him out before he's fully sucked under?
You see me kind of dive across and just like grab him with both hands, jumping over to the next little rock outcrop that's right there.
Perfect. You grab him and move. And one of the things you all notice, especially as Samir is safe and you guys get a chance to look through, this liquid continues to spray up into the air. But for a moment, like, it doesn't seem like much is happening. But you look back to your ship. You kind of look back to where you are, look back to the ship, and you realize you're getting further from the ship. This outcropping is moving.
Uh-oh. Hey, can you stop it? Can you stop the thing?
Yeah, slow down. And my ability also lets me deactivate machines in the same way.
Perfect. You see the geyser completely stop. You see the ship, or not the ship, this rocky outgrowth stop as well. And you look around, the storm does not restart, especially as you see the sun's a little bit higher in the sky.
Okay. That was crazy. Okay. I want to look over at the ship that was like beached up on the rocks. I have 2 questions. First, how long ago was the previous ship sent out?
King Lear is not a patient man. These 3 ships have all been sent out over the last 6 months.
Okay. And did this movement disturb that ship?
So it didn't. So you notice, especially as you kind of see this outcrop moving, this thing is completely beached upon the outcrop. It's almost riding along with it now.
All right. Hey everybody. I would love to try to follow along here and get onto the island and begin searching around. But I think, I don't know about the rest of you, but I would like to check out the ship first before we go ashore. What do you think?
I second that.
I think it's a smart idea.
Someone else leading the investigation for a moment is probably a good idea.
All right. So I'm gonna like sort of hop from rock to rock along these jagged rocks, like heading over towards the ship that's beached over there, and I would like to just spend a little bit of time like searching around it. I actually have an ability called Familiarize as a delve. It's my one delve ability that I have. If I can spend an hour studying a region up to a long distance, so like about 100 feet, so roughly the size of a ship, perhaps. If I can spend an hour moving around it and searching it, I can get hold on one second, an asset, anything related to perception, navigation, salvaging, defense, and moving about the area. So I want to just spend an hour like searching through the ship.
Ravel, you're able to spend an hour searching through the ship. Kind of, you see a number of different things as you go through the ship. First, that this was the second ship sent out on the expedition, kind of the SS Ivakan, that was lost, at least thought to be lost to the perilous seas. You look through, you find the name of the ship. You find that there's no bodies on board. You do find traces of blood, but the thing that kind of stands, you find 2 things that stand out to you. One, you find a kind of a log that gives you a little bit of a description of what they believe this Numenera to be. That's going to be your asset there. You'll be able to pull this asset out for kind of as you go through the rest of this adventure, and at time you may need to ease something that's related to kind of what's going on with this,
For the crew?
with this situation. we'll say.
Okay, so I put in my notes. Found a previous expedition's logbook.
And you do find within that
Perhaps an
logbook
asset.
as well. It gives kind of a description of their journey so far. You hear or you see the kind of quick tales of kind of their travel through the waters, how initially it was fairly easy going, very similar to your own, until the nights at a certain distance became these colossal storms that the ship and crew had to fight their way through, with them abating as morning broached. And you kind of see that repeated a number of times throughout the logs until they eventually find, as you all have as well, this rocky outgrowth. They were unfortunately had some significant damage from those spider or the ghost crabs, and were not able to really control the ship and crashed into it. But they do find, or you do find in the last note, we have found a hatch among the rocks. We will be investigating it, hoping to find, if not some valuable Numenera to bring back to our king, at least something that'll help us patch the boat enough to make our way home. And that was the last entry about 3 months ago.
3 months. Ooh, that's a bad sign. Okay. So on the ship, did I find any supplies or like tools left behind, or perhaps even a cipher?
Unfortunately, you find that that asset and then the notebook.
All right. Cool. I'm sorry. Wait, you said the asset is separate from the notebook?
Well, it is the notebook, but
okay.
You find that information within the notebook and the notebook itself. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So I spend a bunch of time just like floating around the ship. Like once I'm indoors, I feel more safe just completely turning off the gravity and just like pushing myself around it, just like searching through the like places, like opening up chests, dumping over barrels, checking all the rooms, making sure there's nobody still here, making sure there's not any bodies, all that kind of stuff. Then I eventually emerge back out and say, "Hey everyone, all I really found was this logbook, this record of the previous expedition. Could come in handy, maybe. Nothing really useful, unfortunately." And I leap down and end up back on the rocks with everybody else. I assume other people also probably were helping me search through things. Up to you.
Perfect to hear about the notebook, the hatch. What does the rest of the crew do?
Yeah, they mentioned a hatch somewhere around here that they were going to go searching for possible artifacts, Numenera, or even just like anything that could be helpful for them. As you could see, they were definitely stranded here, so maybe we can try to track down that hatch that they found. It's got to be somewhere around here if they were able to find it.
Is my companion...
I will go searching for the hatch. I won't go in it if I find it, but until the group's there. But I'll go searching for it.
Perfect. Oris, what were you saying?
I was just going to say, is my companion back up and about, or...
Yeah, we'll say one of those. I'm not sure how it works for companions, but for today, we'll say one of those recovery rolls apply to the companion as well.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
Anar, give me an intellect roll. With you knowing that the hatch is around, we're going to ease that. So now it is just a DC 3 or difficulty 3, target number 9.
I also am trained in searching.
Oh, perfect. Bring it down to 2.
18.
Solid. You look through and kind of utilizing the description that Revolve provided for the hatch in your own keen eye, you're able to find kind of near kind of the western edge, or near like the almost like the what you'd assume is the center of this like oval of rock outcrops. You find this hatch with kind of like this deep black exterior, a little bit lighter than the other kind of pieces of the rocks that are broken off of it. And you're able to locate it, and you see it's fairly large once you find it as well. Definitely something that could fit like almost 3 people climbing down it at the same time.
I will gather up I will let the group know where it is and lead them back to it. If that's what we want to do.
Sorry, I zoned out for a second. It is among the rocks, or was it on the island itself?
Oh, there's no. So it's just this rocky outcrop. There's no island. Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I got mixed up. As to what this place was. Never mind.
Yeah. So it's
all right.
kind of like an oval of rocks with on the outside the seawater and the inside that blue liquid that geysered up. Yeah.
And sorry, how high do the rocks stick up out of the water?
So it kind of varies. Certain spots, like they're submerged, just beneath. Other spots, they can be anywhere between 5 to 10 feet above.
Okay. Okay. I guess there's nowhere else to go but downward and try to see if we can find anything useful, or maybe even hopefully find the previous crew. I don't know if they've been here for 3 months. I don't know how much supplies. How much did our ship bring enough supplies to last 3 months?
You know, it's probably enough to last. Actually, probably enough to last 3 months. Yeah.
Okay, it's possible that they're still alive in here, so maybe we could potentially find the crew if they got stranded. Ship doesn't look like a great place to stay if, so maybe they found someplace down below that is, shelter. Suddenly looking hopeful, perhaps a little more hopeful than is warranted.
I mean, either way, this is a powerful Numenera device with its ability to travel through the water so easily. We can definitely make a lot of use of it.
For sure.
Something
At
able
least
to
that,
move,
I'm curious to figure out what else it can do.
something
Who
able
wants
to
to-
move this many rocks, or this large of an outcropping of rocks, certainly seems like a powerful Numenera that we should be investigating as part of our mission.
Definitely. Who wants to go first? He looks around at everybody.
I'll go in.
It's wide enough for 3, you said. I will go with him.
Perfect. It is very wide. You could, and you're able to pop open this hatch, and you see kind of goes down into the earth. You see, like, it does have like this multi-rung ladder around it. It's one of those things. Like, it looks like whatever used this before. Maybe it was robots, but whatever it was big. You see the handhelds around it. You can definitely make it work as you kind of climb your way down. But it's big enough for 3 of you guys to go down. But you're looking around, you probably assume it was assumed that one creature would be going down this at a time. But Anar, Raw, you're able to kind of lead the vanguard down, and you see for a moment just kind of darkness as you climb for probably like a minute or so down this ladder. But then you see like this almost artificial red lighting around, and you see in this area kind of broken screens, what looks like they may have been some type of a computer or digital screen in aeons past, but now have faded to time and almost looks like vandalism as well. You see around you too, like at the far end, like this kind of system of rails. You see like almost like a train tracks rails kind of at the far end of this room. And you do see one panel that is still glowing. One thing you do notice is kind of the body of a man that is wearing kind of the blue and golds of the Gan, the nation that you were sent from, slumped up against the wall. Bone thin, clearly deceased. And he's just like, he sat around there. You see in this area, it looks like some of the remaining ship stores were brought down. And you see like kind of most of them have been finished. And you see just kind of the remnants of this man that kind of looks like he's huddled down here for the last bits of his life.
Oh,
So
dear.
he starved to death, looks like.
What's that?
It looks like he starved to death.
Looks like he's starved to death. You do see that there are some rations left. You don't see any wounds on this man. No real. It almost looks like he gave up a little bit.
Okay. Are there any like exits to this place, or is this like what kind of room are we talking about here?
Definitely. So you kind of look around, you see that most of the monitors are destroyed, but at the far end of this room, there is one monitor that's still active next to this rail system, where you do see kind of like these rails that go farther than your eye can see deeper through the complex.
Okay.
I'll go up to this monitor and try to figure out if there's some way I can use it to like control or activate the Numenera around here, or what its function might be.
Perhaps calling a cart on the rail system.
Yeah, I guess I'll start by just kind of looking at it to see if it gives any clue to its function that I can understand. But if not, I might start tinkering with it in various ways.
Does the cart rail ascend or descend, or does it just look like it goes around?
So it looks like for this portion, it looks straight, but it goes so much further than you can see that you're not really sure if it stays on a straight path or if it descends or ascends, goes around.
Oh yeah, it's
So
dark
this
in
is
here, isn't it?
underneath the colored liquid that we saw earlier.
Oh yeah. So you guys, like, this is definitely kind of like underneath that outcropping pretty significantly.
So there's a much
Is it
larger mass of this thing.
And also with kind of how the rail system looks, it looks like it even extends further, way farther, even from what you can see, than that outcropping did. So this rail goes further than what you saw for the outcropping.
It's like an underwater tunnel, huh? But yeah, are the lights on in here, or is it dark?
So you see the kind of artificial red glare.
Oh right, yeah, you did mention that before.
So is this like some kind of big submarine or something?
I'm not sure.
I'm just thinking out loud.
Oh yeah, I wasn't sure if you were saying that in character or not.
Oh, so you're Samir. You are looking at the control panel. Remind you, do you have anything nano that would simply apply right here?
I have a skill in understanding Numenera and a skill for tasks involving electrical machines.
Perfect. Give me an intellect roll. That really eases it. It's down to just roll above a three or better.
13.
You look at this, and you do see kind of like this is advanced Numenera. This thing, like before the piece that kind of like ignited the engine that kind of started moving the rock outcropping wasn't super advanced. This seems like it's linked into a larger system. It may need to be convinced, but you think you can call something that can help you kind of make your way deeper within to explore. Or you could hoof it as well. But you kind of see that this kind of just intuit from your knowledge and attorney kind of in your ear as well, that this system kind of links you into this facility as a whole. So to kind of beat it, it's going to be very difficult. But beating it could have some advantages to make it a little easier to traverse. You're on mute.
I'm gonna try to figure out how to like take full control and get full functionality out of it.
Perfect. And so this will be a fairly difficult task. So this is going to be a DC or a difficulty 6. So a target number 18 to start.
All right. So I presume at least one of my skills will apply here with involving electrical machines or understanding Numenera. And then I'm going to spend effort. So that brings it down to a difficulty 4. All right. Hey, 12. Exactly what I needed.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, so you're able to go through and kind of just hack into the machine, utilizing your own nanobots to override this machine's kind of core functions. And you see one of the pieces too is there's a little bit of a kind of magnetic rail that is located within, and you're able to recall it to your position. And you also notice a couple of other things within. As you kind of look through this network, you're able to see a rough schematics of this facility. You see it is enormous. It is at least a mile long. And you see kind of where you guys are at, or one of the the ship or authority tells you this is one of the engine rooms. And further in, you do have kind of like almost like a viewing gallery, or almost like a barracks, viewing gallery slash barracks that are above the water. But they're on the other side, kind of a mile deep within the facility. You also see, too, you're able to beat it back, but there does seem to be some artificial intelligence within this station. And before kind of it cuts its contact, like you're able to utilize this terminal for all it's worth, but you do feel kind of like this brief touch of that artificial intelligence before it cuts its contact. And it seems almost not, it seems fanatically driven in its core derivative or core function. You feel a bit of not irritation because it's machine, but it almost feels like it airs out before it cuts off the connection from this hostile invader. What do you do with all that, Samir?
Yes, I mean, I'll relay all that information to the others and say that there's definitely a lot of opportunity here. This place seems pretty expansive and advanced, but we should be on our guard against that AI. I have a feeling it doesn't want us here, but we should see what we can get out of here. So you said I was able to call something through the rail system?
You're able to call its magnetic rail if you'd like.
Okay. Yeah. So if we could use that, and this is me suggesting to the party, we can use this to try to get to a viewing gallery that might provide some more information about what's around here, or there's also a barracks there that might have some useful Numenera for us to take.
Right, and we may even find the rest of the crew. While Sehemir was tinkering around with the machinery over there, could I have been searching the supplies that were brought down from the ship above? Like you said that there was like a pile of the ship's like stuff here, I think.
Definitely. So that's mostly food stuff, but give me an intellect roll to see if you search the person as well.
Sure. I have salvaging Numenera as a thing. I don't know if that's relevant for this. Also archaeology, but that's pushing it, I think.
Unfortunately, these two would apply. So this would be fucking fairly easy. This is a difficulty 3.
Right. Okay.
Or sorry, difficulty 1, target number 3.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm not gonna. You know what?
Easy to make a routine.
I might just guarantee.
I help him search the stuff.
And yeah, if he
level.
If he helps me, will it just get it down to 0? Is that how that works? I don't actually know.
Oh,
helping says it eases by 1 unless I have an inability, which I don't have an inability in searching. So
perfect. And I am blanking on the help rules right now. Let me look those up real quick.
Some cooperative actions on page 118, if that helps.
That does. Perfect. We'll. So yeah, I think that just does reduce that down.
I believe it's treated as an asset also.
Sweet. Yeah, so that was already at 1, so that brings it down to 0. You look at the kind of search through this poor guy sailor's pockets and kind of remaining kit and gear, and you find a couple of things. You find hidden in the boot, like almost his last will and testament. You see he goes, the others wouldn't listen to me. They got in the rail. I said I'd hold back the rear and wait for them. 2 weeks later, no sight. Tell the king I wish he never sent us here, and I hope his rule falls. Tell my wife I miss her. And for any that come after me, don't trust the monitors.
That is very disturbing. I think Reveal would have been like initially like searching through all like the supplies and stuff and didn't really find anything interesting, and it would have taken Errol's encouragement to like actually search the body, and that's how he found this, and like reads the note and he's like, oh dear. And he'll read it out loud. He's like, okay, I'm gonna. He just like sticks it in a pocket and he's like, okay, that's bad, right? That's bad. What does it mean by the monitors? Does it mean like, would I know the word monitors? Can I point at the screens and be like,
You would probably know that those are a type of monitor, but definitely kind of not the monitor he meant here. And you're not really familiar with what dread-inspiring term he meant with the monitors here.
okay, well, clearly there is some sort of defense system here. We just really need to keep our eyes open. But I mean, I don't think we can just turn back now, right?
No.
So that was
Of course.
monitor with a capital M.
Fair.
Sounded like it. Yeah, this definitely has a capital M on it. That's bad. That's a bad sign. Okay. So do we? So you told us about the rail thing. Do you want to call like? Is it like a train? Is train a word I would know?
Probably not in the ninth world. And for any viewers that are watching, the ninth world is kind of like this. It's the ninth age of Earth, which has been like billions of years from our age, with technology, aliens, everything rising and falling. So there's all this crazy tech around that most people assume is just magic because they've gone back in the ninth age to near medieval living. So you definitely wouldn't be aware of train, unfortunately. But
okay, well, I maybe understand like cart. So it's like some sort of like wagon that you can call to us to transport us down this spooky tunnel.
Seems like it.
All right. Well, I guess there's only one way to go, or I guess maybe two ways. I'll look the other direction. Well, let's see which way it comes from.
perfect. So you guys are calling the monorail?
Might as well try.
You hear like this kind of mechanized whir, and like it is for a long bit of time, or probably like for the first few minutes, it's like far off in the distance, kind of gradually growing in pitch and kind of almost turning into like this squeal as you see this metallic train arc into view, like moving like just blindingly quick as it magnetically propels itself along the rails and comes to a quick, near effortless stop right in front of you in this platform. You see the doors open within, and you look around. You see like there are spots to sit. You don't see any other creatures living or otherwise within the cart, but you do see kind of just areas to sit, and you do see kind of on the far side what looks to be a small trace of blood kind of splattered against one of the windows.
I'm gonna use my action recovery real quick.
Perfect.
I will as well.
Okay, well, that's not a wagon for sure.
Rolled a 6.
Nice. I guess we get in. The blood doesn't look fresh, does it?
Oh no, that blood is dried and caked. It is probably 3 months old.
Great. Lovely. This is perfect.
The chairs like the ladder down here where they're designed for like a creature much larger than a human.
Yeah, you could fit 3 of you guys in one chair, like without it being weird.
I guess we get. Can you control this thing from inside it?
You do see another monitor at the far end of this kind of train cart room.
Most likely. So once everyone piles in, I'll head over to that monitor and try to send us to the viewing area.
Perfect. You don't need to do any check on this one to make it move. You feel this train kind of go from a complete stop to just hurtling forward as the magnetized rails initiate and kind of start sending you flying down this mile-long corridor. It eventually, like probably less than 5 minutes, you come to a stop, kind of near slow and effortlessly as you did before. But you do see kind of through these windows, the doors have not opened yet. Samir, you have control of that. But you see kind of waiting at the end of the stop, these creatures kind of like floating in the distance. Kind of two on each side of the train. And they've got kind of hard to see them through the windows completely, but you do see they've got these metal carapaces, so many spindly arms, and it seems like as they're floating, like they like you see them occasionally push out like these bursts of air to keep themselves into position. They've not said anything, they've not moved. They're just kind of floating outside the train doors. And once again, Samir, you have control of opening those train doors due to resting it from the system.
Okay. What do you think those are? You think those are probably those monitors that this note talked about?
Well, I might be able to tell if they're going to be a serious threat or not, and I will use my scan ability to find out what level they are and any facts you feel are pertinent about the matter or energy in the area.
So you scan them; they are all level 3. You see that they are. Because what all do you get with scan again?
Scanning a creature or object always reveals its level. You also learn whatever facts the GM feels are pertinent about the matter and energy in the area.
Very high energy, very advanced metal, and actually with you scanning that again too, you scan it and see it is very similar metal type and construction to what rings the outside of this the engine that you made your way in through. Kind of almost see metalworks in some of the same metallurgy as well. So definitely very connected on that side. These are fairly advanced automata.
Okay.
Can I expend my density nodule to make one of my fists more potent?
Yeah, definitely. How long does that last for, too?
28 hours, so basically 1 day.
Sick. All right, yeah, go for it.
Okay, yeah, maybe we should get ready in case they decide to attack us. So I'm gonna step back away from the door.
All right. So does it? Oh, did you guys see these things are floating? They've not made a dramatic action yet. One person. What's the first thing you guys do? Does somebody open the door outside of like kind of preparing yourself for battle? What does somebody do?
I'm gonna wait until everyone says they're ready before opening the door. But I'll be like at that monitor.
Just in case I pull out one of my ball bearings that I have and just like put it in the slingshot, not like holding it taut or anything, but I'm just like holding it nervously. Actually, I'm probably nervously playing with the ball bearing. It's like this big.
I have my rapier at the ready.
I get as close as I can to the targets.
As
Yeah,
you see
or
the door
kind of stand by
open,
the door too.
you hear like this almost gratingly pitched voice speak out, and for a moment it's just gibberish. It's like, and then for a moment it looks at you expectantly, and then you like almost see it calculating, and then it goes, new ones. Welcome to the facility. We have not had visitors in some time. What brings you here?
Oh, I was not expecting them to speak our language.
We are able to pick up on cues fairly quickly. We learned your language. Let's
That
converse
was
with you.
fast. Cool. I have inabilities in charm, persuasion, and etiquette, so I should not be the one speaking to these creatures. I just
I'm
quickly,
right there with you.
I have a fun little thing that I can do. I don't even know if it's going to be helpful, but I have an oddity that is basically a laser pointer that I can point at anything, and it will tell me the weight of that thing. So I just want to point it at one of these machines, see how much it weighs. You don't have to tell me. I don't know what units of measurement the ninth world uses. Just tell. Is it? Are they really heavy or like super light or?
They're fairly heavy. Like this is fairly dense metal. I'm going to say because they're probably like they're about 8 feet in the air floating, but they're probably about like 4 feet tall, a couple feet wide. We'll say like 300 pounds.
Oh wow. Okay. So I just looking. That's just like. Okay.
That is a very curious device. Can you expand on its function?
Sorry. I don't know if that was considered rude or anything. I'm just examining your properties. You see, and he starts like going up to and like holding up the machine to the little it's like a laser pointer, like a pen-sized thing. And it has a little tiny screen on it, and it says, if I point this at something, they can tell me how heavy it is. Only I have been able to read it so far, but I suppose I could try to like teach you the how to read it. I guess you're really good at picking up languages, huh? That's
inefficient. That is because he say inefficient, and then it pauses. Thank you. That was amusing. But what brings you here?
Have you seen another crew of people like us traveling through here recently?
You see a pause for a moment, and it goes, creatures resembling you did pass through. We could bring you to them.
Wow, that would be very nice of you. And I like look back at the rest of the group, like I mouth the words, don't trust the monitors. Like, are these the monitors? I don't know what the monitors are.
Can we stay in the cart while you transport us?
This section, not connected by magnorail, must use appendages to reach.
Appendage? I don't like the way they said appendages.
Before we go any deeper, could you tell us the purpose of this facility?
All right. Give me an intellect roll, DC, or difficulty 3, target number 9.
I'm gonna. Would understanding Numenera help here? I don't know if these creatures count as that or.
I'll give you an understanding Numenera for that one.
Okay, and I will apply effort as well. So that brings it to difficulty 1.
Yep.
I rolled a 7.
You see it pause for a moment, like, and you see like these lights blink across its carapace, and it goes, processing. Facility's goal was mobile base of operations to be able to traverse the seas while the Masters warred. It was designed as a safe house with necessary materials to survive.
Okay, that sounds good, right? And when you say the masters, like the people who built you?
Yes, the creators, the ones who govern us and all.
Great. Okay. Could
Are there
you?
any creators left?
Good question.
Still waiting for creators to arrive so we can protect.
Ah, so maybe they never got here. That's sad. Okay. Could you take us, please, to the other people that you saw, the people like us?
Of course. Um, Facility rules. Please leave your primitive weapons here, and we'll escort you to your compatriots.
Okay.
You are
These are
protected
registered
by
weapons.
the Citadel.
Oh, you know what? It's okay. No, actually, I was like, actually, very few of us care about using weapons. But I'm like, oh wait, no, actually, there's a rapier and.
I don't have a weapon. I just have an external hard drive. I don't know what you're saying.
You
So
have
I'm
your
not going to
fist.
give it up. If they make a comment about it, I'll try to explain that. But
I like look down at my slingshot. I guess I can leave it behind for now. And I put it on one of the chairs in the cart.
Perfect. So Raval is putting down his slingshot. Samir is holding on to his hard drive, hoping to explain it. Anar, are you keeping your rapier?
I'll go ahead and set that and my dagger down by his slingshot.
Perfect. Raval, you're kind of lucky in this situation. Your hands are your weapon.
And I will set down the quarterstaff and bow that I carry.
Oh, I forgot about that.
But
Perfect.
I will ask, can I tie myself to them while they carry us?
So the monitors aren't going to carry you. They want you to walk using your appendages or your legs.
Oh, okay. So our appendages, not their appendages.
Oh yeah, your appendages. Yeah.
Okay.
Oris, are you keeping your bow with you?
I'm going to put the bow and the quarterstaff down. I will intentionally keep and not mention it, but the fishing knife.
All right. So Oris, Samir, Oris, you're going to give me a speed check DC 3. See if you can kind of hide that amongst yourself, keep it out of notice. Samir, they're going to question you about it. You see the robot go, what is the function of that?
data storage.
For what?
Information that I might need access at any time. No harm can be done with it.
Can we examine your data?
Let's see.
That just doesn't sound right.
We were warned not to trust them, so I'm still. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna hand it over for them to examine.
You see they do kind of like this little probe comes out from this droid's carapace, connects itself to it. You see its eyes blink back and forth, and it goes, "Thank you. We learned much on Eternity and others. We appreciate you adding data to our archive on you and this unfriendly AI. You can retain your data scepter, and we appreciate your cooperation.
That went surprisingly well. That was
All right, so where are we head?
Oris, how did that roll go for you?
I'm going to use an effort to
Okay.
drop it down 1 and 10.
Perfect. You're easily able to hide that dagger. Kind of quickly amongst your clothing, and the monitors don't seem to have noticed. Afterwards, you hear the droid go, right this way. And they kind of fall into a formation with 2 in front, 2 behind, and they begin to lead you through this facility. Kind of first going up some stairs, climbing through, and these stairs, like there's stairs, but like you are like usually stairs you can just kind of take a step on. Like you guys are like hiking up these stairs, almost like having to like extend your like knee up to like waist level, just to get it above, as you climb up these giant stairs and make your way kind of winding up into this facility. The higher you go, initially it starts to transition from just metal walls into like almost like this transparent steel. You can see through it, and you see the water, and eventually you do start to see kind of structures, almost like they're floating above the water, and from a distance it would appear as if an island. As you guys kind of make your way further into this facility. And as they end it, you are brought into this room. And then within this room, you do see a large kind of monitor, very similar, or large a computer terminal, very similar to what you came across when you worked to bring the Magna train to you. But the thing that probably stands out to you the most are you see these rows of tubes. And like these tubes, once again, ginormous. Looks like it could fit a creature 3 times your size. But most of these tubes, completely empty. 5 of them, you see crew members with the Gan colors, kind of that black and silver adorned upon them, floating in these tubes. You see green lights above them, and you see kind of like these symbols that don't make sense to you, but it almost seems like you kind of see one that is pulsing rhythmically, one that is kind of ticking up and ticking down. And you can see as you look around, no role necessary. These creatures, these fellow members of God are breathing, but their eyes are closed. They are not conscious within these tubes. And the monitor goes, "We found your compatriots. As we said, primary directive to watch and guard facility. Creators have not made their way here. We will put you in storage until creators can decide your fate. We hope to watch over you forever."
No, thank you.
Yes. Can I would like to no. Can I say no? Is no an option?
No is not an option. That ends with you alive.
Oh dear.
Did you see like these creatures' arms begin to spread? Did you see sparks begin to ignite between them? If we're gonna get into our probably last combat for this adventure, everybody give me an initiative. Let me see what theirs were again. They're 3-12. So anybody that's 12 or higher, you go first. 12 or below, you go after them.
Did you say they were 3?
Oh, level 3, there's 4.
So it would be 9, right?
Oh yeah, right. 9 or below. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I rolled a 10, so that changes it.
I got a 12, so I'm good.
I got a 20.
Nice.
And I dropped my die.
So I think everybody's 10 or above so far.
Yeah, 12.
Sick. Yeah, so you guys will all go before these 4 monitors. Raval, you said you got a nat 20?
I did.
We'll give you a factor. What's something slightly advantageous you could do as this all goes on?
I think when I see them starting to act threateningly, this is not relevant to this particular thing, but I am trained in sensing danger. So like I think perhaps I sense that this is about to go badly, like a couple of seconds before everybody else does. And what can I do with that information though? How about can I? All I can think of, everything I can think of, is just it taking an extra action.
What we could do is say that you have a free ease that you can apply to whatever action you take this turn.
Yeah, sure. That works.
And you kind of notice that danger a little bit earlier.
Okay.
Sweet. So we're going to kick off into initiative. For anybody that hasn't yet, throw Numenera into the chat. Get a chance to win a free copy of the system. Actually, hold on. I'll be right back. My dog is going crazy. While you guys think of what you want to do, you guys are all ahead of the robots, so you guys basically get a chance to act for them. There are 4 of them kind of arrayed on either side, or 2 of them on either side of you. So think of what you want to do, and I'll be right back.
I was willing to give up my weapon because I can still do stuff without having it.
Nice.
I can weigh enemies down. Well, that's kind of it. But
Yeah,
it's
I don't
better
have
than
I don't have much advantage here, but I'm still gonna try.
Yeah, you gotta. For some characters, depending on what you make, you gotta just be real creative with the way you use your skills and stuff.
Yeah, because I'm probably gonna use my distant activation to deactivate some of the tubes and hopefully free some of our allies. But I can like toss my hard drive to somebody if they want to use that and need a weapon.
All right. So what's the crew thinking? You guys are all before the machines. You can go in any order that you would like.
I'll go first, just because I was narratively the fastest acting person. I would like to just Old Faithful, just reach out my hand and just turn the gravity up on one of these creatures. I guess the closest one to me. Why not? Using the weighty ability. It costs 1 intellect normally. I'm gonna actually. You said it was eased by 1, just because of the 20 I got earlier. Yep. Would you say perhaps that knowing the exact weight of this thing might be helpful? I don't know.
Not really.
Okay.
But you could definitely kind of flavor that into the ease you get with kind of you getting the drop on them as well.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, then. I am going to just have it just suddenly, these things are floating, so I imagine if it suddenly dramatically increases in weight, it's going to have a bad time. So I'm going to spend an effort just to get it even lower. So I'm going to spend another 2. My intellect. Perfect. And drag 3. This thing down. I got a 12. So
what does that do when you get that off?
It can't move, and any tasks it attempts on its turn are hindered.
Nice. How does that look as you get that off too?
All right. So I just kind of like point my hand at it, and like nobody sees anything. It just kind of I am manipulating the tiny nano machines floating in the air everywhere. So like it doesn't actually look like I'm doing anything, but suddenly the thing just drops to the ground and is like crushed against the floor. And I say, I can hold this one here. Get the other ones.
All right.
And that's my turn.
Who's next?
I'll go next. I'll go.
You said there's 2 of them, right?
4 of them.
4 of them. Okay.
2 on each side.
So whichever
one
side.
Of the ones that he didn't that he didn't try to sink, I'm going to try to grab onto and pull down to the ground.
All right. Yeah. Well, give me a mic check. It'll be a target number DC 9 or DC 3 target number 9.
Alrighty. That's a 20.
Hey, nice.
Sod, you are able to drag that to the ground. 20. Yeah, we'll give it to you too. That wasn't an attack, but we'll give you that 4. You get your choice of +4 damage or do a major effect.
Let's just do the damage on it.
Perfect. You're able to slam that to the ground, crashing against. You see sparks fly off against the creature as you kind of hold it down, and are able to get some damage off it as well. And Oris will pass to you.
All right. So the one next to that one then, so on the same side, I'll just go up and I'll try to maybe inside to take my knife out and take a swing, try to hit some of the circuitry inside one of the arms.
Perfect.
And does that use speed with a light weapon? Or is it still light?
I think so. It's a light weapon, so it's going to ease it once for sure.
I think you choose whether it's might or speed.
I think so too. We'll say so for now. So that'll be speed. It's eased 1, so that brings it down to a difficulty 2, target 6.
Oh, I'll just go with the 6 then. That sounds good. I cannot keep it off my keyboard. All right, let me try again. All right, 9.
Sick. Yeah, you cut into that. Do you have so that'll be 2 damage unless you have anything that modifies your damage
No,
there.
just 2.
You cut into this thing, taking out sparks and chunks of circuitry as you cut, kind of slash through it with your knife. Who's up next?
So Oris and Anar are targeting one pair, and Ravel is targeting the one of the other pair. The last one, I will draw the attack.
Okay, perfect. For anybody that is watching, draw the attack is going to be an intellect and assess the creature is going to target you versus going off after someone else. So give me an intellect. You're just going to beat a DC 9.
So as part of my drawing the attack, I am trying to act intimidating, and so I figured physical performing arts might be. I'm trained in that, so I thought it might help.
For sure, kind of, especially the martial artist, probably doing some of those kind of like introductory fight forms, just to really kind of make yourself seem like the bigger target. For sure, ease that down to 6.
I will even spend an intellect effort on it.
Nice.
No edge in this one though. 17 is plenty.
Sick, and that gives you something, I think. Oh,
I don't think so for this. Not
yeah,
for an attack. It would have
damage if it was. Yeah, but luckily, yeah, you see that the monitor. Its eyes flash from blue to red, and it is locked onto you. Samir, you haven't gone yet, right?
Yeah, so I'm going to use my action to do distant activation and deactivate one of the tubes holding one of the people. And hopefully it'll let them out and they can help us out if they're not too disoriented or even still alive.
Perfect. The activation does not require a roll, but give me an intellect roll to see how, because you kind of get, as you converse with these machines, that typically creatures coming out of this are going to be a little bit groggy, not really able to jump right into the fray. But if you're able to get that right bit of stimulants as you kind of pump them out of the system, you may be able to get them awake and joining in. So this is going to be fairly challenging. So it's going to be a difficulty rating 5, 15 target number before any modifiers.
Right. So task involving electrical machine skill, but inability to figure out puzzles or problems. I think those will cancel out.
Yeah.
I will spend effort on this though to bring it down to a 4.
Perfect. So I'm just going to do 12.
Oh, it's a 10.
Yeah, you go through, you're able to release the prisoner, but you see as this tube kind of goes back in, the apparatuses disentangle themselves from the gone sailor. He just kind of slumps to the ground, still breathing, still healthy, just not really able to jump in and help right now. All right, that's everybody, right? I think so. That is sweet. So the monitors start to kind of all of their eyes flick from that blue they've been to red, and they start to kind of target those amongst the group. Most of them, or two of them, target Aral, the one that he pulled, along with another looking to aid its comrade. One of them is hindered as it tries to push itself off the ground and strike at Raval. And the other one is going to go after Samir as it kind of blares out, "Do not utilize our computers," as it goes to try to get its revenge. So this is the might attack. The target number is 9. Aral, give me 2. Aral, give me 2. Rebel, give me 1. And Samir, give me 1 as well.
All right. So we roll using might to defend? All right.
Okay. And mine is eased, I believe, because it is hindered in its attack.
That's right.
Can I
19.
expend effort on each one?
Uh,
Because I know it's
Why
once per
not?
action, but I don't know how it works if there's 2
Yeah.
defense.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
pretty sure
separate
you can
there's
spend it
separate
all.
defense actions. Yeah.
yeah.
I might as well try to use. No, I'm not. Okay.
Failed.
I got a 10 on mine.
That's enough. Samir, you got a 19, right?
Yep.
I'm going to use 2 XP to re-roll those.
There we
Oh,
go.
no, sorry, I only have 1 XP. Sorry, I'll re-roll the one that was target that I egged on.
Perfect.
Can we use
Much-
XP to have other people reroll things?
I think it's just you.
Okay.
On that one. How'd the reroll go?
I succeeded the reroll, and I will also use my misdirect action, which allows me to make it attack the other one.
Yo, get wrecked.
Yeah, so with misdirect, so they kind of like it kind of misses you and it goes after the other creature.
Yep.
Solid.
I have to roll an attack roll against the other one unmodified.
All right, so you got to beat a 9 or 9 or better.
Oh, 1. Come on. Finally get to use my cool action.
Unfortunately, I have to use unfortunately, fortunately for me, I get to use the GM intrusion here. So
I'm
you
out of
see,
XP, so.
and actually, I should just describe this for everybody as they come through. Most of you guys are able to avoid it. This creatures you see as like these appendages come out, like these rays start to go off. Like they kind of bring their appendages together, and you see like this burst of light. Raval, Ramir, you two are able to kind of avoid it. Raval, and Samir, you were able to avoid it. Aral, you trying to kind of like do like this sick dodge where you kind of would have pushed the other one into its way, but unfortunately it burns into you, and you are going to be you kind of see like this blast burning into you, and we're going to give you we're going to say that you are knocked down. So this blast just comes into you, burns into you, throws you off your feet as you try to recover, and you also take 6 damage as well to your might pool.
And how much was the first one? Because I did get hit by the first one. So how much damage was the initial attack? Sorry.
Oh, so that's the so the initial attack is just 6. The knockdown is for your geometries there. Perfect. So round, that's all 4 of them. So the round is up. You all are kind of top of the order. The whole crew can make their decisions now.
What else is in this room around us? Like what's going on in here?
So you've got the rows of tubes, this very large computer terminal, and you do see kind of a transparent steel window around you, showing you kind of this kind of almost tropical view of the ocean on the other side. and stairs behind you.
Okay. I have an idea. I have a cipher that I would like to try using. It's kind of outside of what the cipher normally does, but I feel like it could help anyway. I have a cipher called phasing gloves, which allow me to sort of reach into solid objects to mess with them. And in the thing, it says it allows you to repair things, just like a disabled object. It also just lets you. It also lets you just see into whatever you're reaching into. Like it just sort of gives you X-ray vision for a limited distance to see what you're interacting with. Can I just like reach inside one of these creatures using my phasing gloves and just start pulling stuff out?
Definitely. Yeah, we'll get. So you can use that cipher, reach in. It's going to keep the target number the same, but if you can go through with that, we'll say it's a speed check, and pour speed or intellect actually. If you can hit on that speed or intellect check, you will just destroy one of those creatures with that use of the cipher.
Nice. All right. In that case, I'm going to spend 2 effort. I really want this to succeed. I'm going to use 2 intellect effort. So that's going to cost me 4.
You're able to spend 2?
I'm not, because I am only a tier 1. You're absolutely right. I forgot that was a thing. So yeah, I can only spend 1. But that brings me down to 8 intellect points. And I just activate my phasing gloves. Like these are normally meant for like a repairing machines. Or salvaging machines. So I'm like salvaging a machine while it's still functioning. That's salvaging, right? Yeah, it says if used as a part of a salvaging task, the gloves grant 2 assets. This is not quite a salvaging task, but hey, here we go. I'm just gonna like reach inside and just start pulling stuff out. Anything that looks important. All right.
With that ease, that just brings it to a 6. You've got to beat.
All right. Here we go. I got a 17.
So how do you reach into one and just take one of the 4 off the map?
One of the ones, I'm going to say the one that was I had just a second ago, like yanked down into the ground. I'm just going to like activate both of my gloves, start like glowing bright white. And then I just like reach inside this thing and just start pulling out just random like tubes, wires, circuit boards, just stuff. I'm just yanking stuff out of like the center of this thing, and I can briefly like see inside it as I'm doing it. I'm like, oh, that looks important. Like oil sprays me in the face as I'm just yanking stuff out of it until I finally pull out something that is too important for it to be missing, and it falls to the ground unmoving.
Perfect. You see the blue or the red light fade from the creature's display as this monitor crashes to the ground and is turned off. You see kind of the power fading from your cipher gloves as well. And who's next? Yeah, the whole crew is still up, so Reval is gone. Who's taking out one of the 3?
I have a question. I'm prone, so do I need to spend an action to stand up?
Moving from prone. That's a good question. I think
Couldn't find it. I was looking for it.
I'm not sure the official rules. I'm going to mix it up. So with this, we'll say that you have to make a speed check of 9 to get up without spending your action. If you beat the check, you can go through and make an action.
Okay. 11.
Perfect. Yeah, you were able to kip up whatever you do to get kind of up and around these guys and still have your
martial arts flip, you know. Yeah. And then I go ahead and wail into the one that's right next to me that just knocked me down.
And don't forget, I forget whatever you did to your gloves or your fists as well.
I can't remember. It was a nodule. Density nodule. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that increases damage.
Nice.
And I would expend an effort to attack. Oh no, I can't do that because that would knock me to impaired. Never mind. So I actually miss. I will miss with my first one, and I will hit with my second one, which unfortunately is the weaker one for only 3 damage.
Perfect. What would you get on that first one?
A 6.
Because you're using your fist, right?
Yes. Oh, it's
light
eased
weapons.
by 1. That's right.
So both will hit. So 3 on the first or second one.
And
was
5
the first
on
one?
the first one.
Take one out. How's that look?
I go in and I aim for the weak spots. Any spots where there are joints or like anything that's looks breakable, like glass or anything, and I will just hit and shatter a piece of it, and then like knock out an arm, and it'll just fall after I do that.
You see it crash down, its eyes fading out as you look around, and just two monitors left, and you hear one of them go, calculating, odds tilting out of favor. But you guys are Samir, Oris, Anar. You three are still up. What are you guys doing?
The one that I brought down, is it still? Am I still right by it?
You're still right by it.
I'm just gonna start throwing some punches at it.
All right.
I rolled a 12.
That'll hit. So that'll be light damage, which should be 2 unless you add anything to it for you.
I mean, I guess, can I expend like a might or something to add damage to it, or is that not how this works?
I think you can.
You can spend an effort, so you just do that, which will take 3 points unless you have a might edge, which will take 2.
I don't have a might edge, but I will expend an effort.
Perfect. So that raises it up to, what does that bring that up to? Does anybody remember what the spinning it gives to the damage? I think it's like 2. Is that right?
+3.
+3. Nice. Yeah. Solid. Take that one down. How does it look?
So when I initially knocked him down, it kind of looked like a Thez press, if you know what that is, and then just wailing on him. Old school Steve Austin style.
Perfect. You see bits of machinery just breaking off, and just little, just hollowed out carapace is left. The last little bits of electrical life fade from it. And now just one of the monitors is left. Samir, Oris, you guys are up.
I'll go next. I think the last one is the one I hit the first time.
Mhm.
So I'll just take another swing at it with my knife. Uh, 14.
Perfect.
And I'll expend an effort too for the extra damage.
Sweet. So knife is light, so that'd be 5. Yeah, bring it down.
Yeah, so I kind of hit the same spot. I kind of see the sparks and like hit one of the maybe one of the gadgets that's holding it up and have it crash into the ground as it kind of sputters out, spins sideways, and just falls.
Perfect. You see it crash into the ground. You all see kind of just pure silence after all of these whirring monitors. You hear the whirls cease. You stop seeing the flickering lights, the bolts of energy that was cascading between them, and now you are left with silence. Samir, you freed one of the troops. You've got like time now. You're not pressed with these creatures. What are you doing?
I'm gonna start working on the others, just deactivating one machine after the other. Trying to still kind of be careful that they're not too disoriented, since we don't have time pressure at the moment. But I'll kind of be focused on that job and let the rest of the party deal with talking to these sailors and explaining why we're here and where we came from and how long it's been.
Perfect. And if you want these guys kind of awake and ready to go, give me one last roll with no robots in your face shooting at you. It's going to be a little bit easier. Where before it started as a challenging roll, as a difficulty 5, it's going to be eased down into a just merely difficult roll before any of your modifiers are applied. So I think you had a modifier on that, which that should bring it down to a 3 or a target number or a difficulty 3, target number 9.
Yeah, I feel like the inability of figuring out puzzles doesn't apply anymore because it's not as much figuring out. Like, I've kind of already gotten the hang of it, I guess. So my skill of task involving electrical machines should apply. So that makes it target 3, roll to 14.
Perfect. You are able to go through, release these guys, and not only release them, but provide them with a little bit of a electrical stimulant boost, so they come out last 4 conscious as they awake from their kind of suspension. You see these guys are like disbelief, confusion, and horror, kind of all around the faces. You see like a lot of them like come back, like almost where kind of at the moment right before they were captured, as if no time has passed for them. You see one of them raises his hand and goes, "No, we don't want to be suspended." Another one goes, "What the hell?" And like all kind of like at the same time as they come out of this suspension, just pure confusion and terror across their faces as you free them from the monitors. After a while, you guys are able to kind of probably talk them through that. And actually, one thing before we get into that last little bit, too, for anybody that's not in there yet, throw Numenera into the chat. We are going to be rolling that off soon as we complete this adventure. There's 15 people so far in there, so definitely a good, pretty sizable chance to get a copy of the system for yourself. But yeah, what do you guys do? You got these soldiers free. There's this monitor, or this terminal system connected to this facility as a whole right next to you. What do you do next?
You're the guy who you're the one who knows all about the machines and whatnot.
I think if we really wanted to impress the king, we can bring this whole facility to him.
Do you think you can do that?
I can try. So I'll start fiddling with the terminal and see if I can control its movement and direct it to head over to Gan.
This is gonna be so crazy. I mean, wow! You said this facility is like somebody pointed out earlier. Did you find like a map or something? You said this place was like a mile long.
That's right.
There's so much to find in here. There's got to be so many hidden secrets and stuff like that. Where do I even start?
Actually,
and we have
that's a good
time
idea.
now.
Maybe we shouldn't bring this to the king. Keep it for ourselves. And this way we'll be have all the time we want and to take advantage of whatever treasures we can find here.
Good point. I mean, that's like, it's going to take weeks to search through this place probably. And oh man, like we could be our own kings. Or I mean, I don't know how powerful this place is, but I mean, like, think about how much there could be hidden in here.
So we send these sailors back to the ship. They can head back to Gan and leave this place to us.
Yeah, how do they feel about that? They're like awake and aware now, right?
They're awake, aware, but they're a little traumatized. They're not really in a spot for making big decisions. They look very confused right now, hearing this talk. Like, they're easy situation. They're not really going to oppose you. They may be unhappy about the decision after they kind of get a chance to get back to themselves, but they're not going to fight you over, at least right now.
We did save their lives after all.
The place is huge. Like, where do I even start? Oh, you know what? I know where to start. I saw inside of this thing. So I'm going to start. Reveal is immediately just like jumping down and like starting to like try to take apart these machines to find any cool little artifacts he can pull out of these things. Like, maybe I can find like there's whatever mechanism they used to float, so I can maybe help other people float in addition to myself.
I guess technology we control is better than technology we don't.
Exactly. And Reveal is like a kid in a candy store in this place. Just starts pulling apart machines.
There been any reference to have we seen a visual image of the masters yet by chance? Or have any idea what the masters look like?
So you didn't see one yet, but definitely as you guys kind of spend some time here, send the soldier or the sailors back to your boat and get to kind of explore here, you are able to see both in the terminals as well as some artwork of like the masters of this facility. They are like this grotesque race of creatures. Like they are enormous with like these weirdly proportioned limbs, like very large, but some of them are like larger than others. Their eyes like bulge out like a frog's. Just grotesque alien looking creatures, which were the masters of the age that this creation was built in. This man managed to survive through time.
I have a cipher. It's a visage changer. Can I make one of us look like one of them, and we be the masters?
Ooh.
You definitely could, because there are more like you would know too as you get a chance to look at like the terminal and all that. There are more monitors on board the ship. You could definitely utilize that to change your visage into one of the yours or somebody else's. And command the monitors that you're the new master, or the old masters give you guys a new master authority.
All right, so I got to roll for the level. So it's a 1d6. So it's a level 3. And so changes the appearance of one human-sized creature, provides an asset to disguise tasks. The change takes 10 minutes to apply and lasts 28 hours. Is anyone good at talking?
Not me.
That's a no.
Physical performance arts.
Just mime it out.
Hey, close enough.
I mean, it might have to be you just by nature of you not being bad at it. You might not be good at it, but you're not the worst.
Yeah, I will make myself look like one of them, and if we run into a monitor, I'm going to delegate the other 4 as the new masters.
Perfect. This will be the last roll of the session, Oris. It's a lot of pressure on you here. This is going to be a difficulty 3 as you get your cipher working and turn yourself or give yourself the appearance of this grotesque creature. Can you make him believe it and believe that these are the masters?
All right, I feel like this is an effort situation here.
And
So
don't
I
forget,
think
you can re-roll with an XP if you need to.
You got an XP left.
Nice.
So
So
intellect.
Okay, so all right. 9.
Just enough.
Nice.
You see the monitors go, creators. Or actually, that's the voice. Creators, you've made it back. We have been waiting 1,000,000 years. Happy that you are finally here. We will designate these creatures as fellow masters and obey. Are there more creators coming?
You know what? I'm gonna roll a die. Am I a good guy or not? 11 or higher. I'm a nice guy. 5. No, the 4 in front of you are the new masters. They will have one more show his face in the next 28 hours. Beyond that, you take orders from no one.
Processing. That is very unfortunate. But at least we have you, creator. One creator is better than none. And you see it kind of like float off to go about its business. Happy that at least it has one creator, though it does not know it just has one creator for 28 hours. Before the thing fades and you all take control of this vessel. And you are able to find like this vessel, mile long, very powerful engines. You guys, it would take you some time to truly learn how to command and make it your own. But it is this floating base with very advanced technology and Numenera within it. You saw pieces of it where it could create storms, move quickly, that you could eventually learn to harness for yourselves. and as we've all said, potentially becoming the new kings of the area. But that's a story for another time, and that's where we're going to wrap up our session for today. If you're not in yet, definitely throw Numenera in. We're probably going to roll that in the next few minutes. Before I do that, I do want to pass it to the crew and say, what do you guys think of the system? I know for some of you all, you've played it before, but a number of you, this is your first time on the system.
I have a lot of thoughts because I don't think I said this on the stream, but I've mentioned it to some of you before. I bought a whole bunch of stuff for the Cypher system, expecting to convert my D&D game to the Cypher system, and then the game fell apart for unrelated reasons, and so I never actually played it. But I bought a whole bunch. I spent like over $100 on the Cypher system stuff. So I spent a lot of time reading it. I spent a lot of time thinking about it. I think it's really cool. In certain places, there are some things that kind of bother me. Like I'm not the kind of person that likes. I would prefer if the resource I used to do cool stuff was a different resource than my stamina, but it's not a deal breaker for me. I also just think like the numbers is just really complex. Like once you understand how it works, it's just like, oh, assign a difficulty and then multiply that by 3. But like when you're explaining like edges and effort to somebody, like, okay, so every effort you use reduces the difficulty by 1, which lowers the target number by 3. But if you have an edge in the in that thing, then you can actually only have to spend 2 for each level of effort. It's just like explaining that to a human being, like very clicky. You'll see people's like eyes start to glaze over and you start to lose people. I think that is a little complex, but I do like a lot of the stuff about it. I like the character creation, like how you can mix and match different pieces together and create all different. You have a lot of freedom when making your guy.
Definitely, and I do like the I forgot the way to phrase it, but the sentence structure for character creation, like I am a blank who does blank. I think that's just a cool thing, and it makes a fun narrative for it.
I've got a bit of a different perspective. I came from Pathfinder 1, Starfinder 1, and D&D 3.5, where things are really math heavy. And I thought that this was actually very simplified. And I kind of like that. I've not been in one that was so narratively driven as this. It works very well, I think.
For sure. Oh, another thing one other criticism I have of this game. I don't like XP being your like a resource that you spend to do stuff, because then like I'm the kind of I'm like I want to level up. I want to get I'm not spending XP on anything unless it's a one shot.
Yeah. I'm with them there.
I agree with you on that one. Yeah. And I didn't use as many DM intrusions as I thought I would. That is my favorite thing with the Cypher system. It's things I've stolen for other systems I've played. It's just a fun thing where you get to be as a GM say that happens, and then you get a reward for it too for the player side.
I only spent my XP like because I knew it was a one shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all the different character options are really cool. Like my activation thing were really fun, and then like other people had really cool stuff they could do as well. And it's like not just interesting, but also very narrative driven. Like, you know, Revile is like he controls gravity, and he literally had abilities that let you do exactly that, and you didn't have to worry about like doing a bunch of math or understanding complex rules to make it work. It's just like you control gravity, and there's just enough guidelines to like have an interesting story around it. And also, I really like the connections we did in the beginning. I mean, there's a couple of different systems that do stuff like that, but especially how it's like tied into your character choices. So, like again, I guess Reveal is the one that sticks in my mind. But it's like you pick gravity, and then your connection to somebody else was you messed up their gravity and stuff like that. So like that really makes the party feel well connected in a way that is good, especially for one shots like this, where like we don't really have a lot of time to like flesh out our characters super interesting, but we can still have some fun with it.
Definitely, I do love those questions for like one shots. Like it's so I've started stealing from regular one shots too, because it's a quick way to get everybody like at least thinking of what the group's doing and why they're there.
Yeah, and then we got a lot of use out of the ciphers, which is really cool, because that's also a really fun part of the system that I like a lot, which is what the system's named after. And because I think in the Old Gods one, we only use like one, maybe two ciphers the whole one shot, but I like that. I mean, I was looking for a chance to use mine and it never came up, but everyone else used theirs a lot, which is really neat. There's an idea that you can only have 3, but you can. So it encourages you to use them, and then the GM, in a longer campaign, especially like give them out like candy, so you're always using them. It's really cool.
Yeah, the old gods. What we forgot like to like halfway. I forgot to give you them like halfway through, because old gods for some reason didn't have like the recommended ciphers for each class like this one did. And I was gonna give it to you at the start of the adventure, but I forgot to like halfway through, so we only got to use 2 of them. But this time we got to use more of them, so I'm glad on that side. Yeah, I enjoy the system. Really fun for sci-fi. I think I do enjoy it a little bit more for the horror from the folksy horror from Old Gods of Appalachia. But that's just, I think it's the lightness of the system really works really well with horror. It's just really good for sci-fi or fantasy too. But I definitely fit with my horror taste a little bit better. But definitely one that I'd be happy to play again. Definitely make sure you have yourself in the chat. Before we roll, I want to shout out that October's game of the month is going to be Free League's Walking Dead. So I'm looking excited for that. It uses their year 1 system. Same system Alien uses, and I'm pretty excited to get to roll that one. I haven't decided a date for it yet. I got to check with my wife to see if we're doing anything for Halloween. If we're not, we're going to be back to our usual Thursdays for the game of the month and playing on Halloween Walking Dead. But got to figure that out. Without further ado, we're going to roll for our winners. Let's see who gets it. All right. Shout out to William Scott Bauer. You've won the free PDF giveaway of the Numenera Discovery System. So message me either on Discord. My Discord is Tegan J Gaming, or if you want to email me, teganjgaming@gmail.com. And then we'll hook you up with a free PDF copy of the Numenera system through DriveThruRPG. So just message me whenever you get a moment, and then that following day you'll get in your inbox. But everybody, thanks for hanging out. Last thing I'll shout out is definitely come back same time Thursday as we get back into Pandemonium Session 5, I believe it is, as we get into the Fight for Peace arc, and then rejoin us not next Tuesday, 2 Tuesdays afterwards for Occupation, as we get into the last arc for our Star Wars Occupation campaign. But thanks for hanging out, everybody, and until next time.